Chapter 11:18. Chapter 11:18, Situation. They actually wiped out the Zhang family just because of my relationship with Zhang Fengying? Wang Xian's face was gloomy and extremely embarrassed. Wang Xian had met Zhang Fengying's nephew and her niece, Zhang Yitian. Especially Zhang Yitian, the leader of the Amethyst mercenary group of the Demon Hunters Academy. She was a very tall and beautiful girl. He didn't expect the ocean cultivators to be so ruthless. He also didn't expect the Eastern Sea City to be so ruthless. They wanted to kill all of them just because of a little relationship. Now Zhang Fengying had escaped to Dragon and Phoenix City. Wang Xian clenched his fists tightly. His eyes were filled with flames of anger. Xiao Xian, what happened? The 6 girls at the side saw Wang Xian's angry look and asked hurriedly. A family was wiped out because of me. Only one person managed to escape. Wang Xian heaved a sigh of relief and said in a deep voice. Are we going out? Guan Shuqing looked at Wang Xian and asked in a deep voice. Yes, we are going out. Come with me. We can go and see Feng Wan. Wang Xian looked at the few girls and said. Alright, we want to go to the Transcendence continent to take a look. The few girls nodded immediately. They had not gone out in the past few days since they came to the Transcendence continent. I won't go, Xiao Xian. Lan Qingyue suddenly said. Have you decided? Wang Xian looked at her and asked seriously. I've decided. Don't worry. Nothing will happen to me. Moreover, I'm basically in the ocean. Unless, one day Xiaolan can block the sky, we will only appear in the starry sky of the Transcendence continent. Lan Qingyue revealed a smile, a fighting spirit flashed in her eyes. We won't be in any danger. Moreover, I have a piece of soul-returning wood with me. Even if something really happens, I believe that you will come looking for me. However, such a probability is almost non-existent. All right. Wang Xian walked over and hugged her. Don't worry, Xiao Xian. As the last legacy of the ancient god race and the owner of the ancient god's Kuan rearing plant, I will become a powerhouse in no time. I will come back when the time comes. I will be back very soon. Lan Qingyue's eyes were slightly red as she lay in Wang Xian's embrace. Sister Qingyue will miss you. Guan Shuqing and the other girls hugged her. With the communication stone plate, we can communicate frequently. Don't worry, I'll leave Xiao Xian to you guys. Don't let him drift away. Don't worry, Qingyue. If he dares to drift away, we'll take care of him. Okay, I'm leaving. Little Xian, Shuqing, Yinxian, Qinglan, Agaya, Lingxiu. After saying her goodbyes, Lan Qingyue moved and stood on Little Blue's body, swimming toward the depths of the vast ocean. Wretch. A special sound came from Little Blue's mouth, echoing within a radius of 100 li. Lan Qingyue stood on Little Blue's head and looked at the incomparably deep ocean. After inheriting the heritage of the ancient god race, the last bloodline of her ancient god race would be able to reproduce the divine power of the ancient god race. When the voice of the Kuan resounded across the supernatural continent, it was the time for everyone to submit to her. Lan Qingyue's departure caused Wang Xian's bad mood to sink once again. Let's go to Dragon and Phoenix City. Wang Xian took a deep breath and said to the few girls. All right, little Xian. The 5 girls nodded. After the 5 of them had consumed a large number of elixirs, the weakest one among them was at level 5 of the Extraordinaire. The strongest one was Sun Lingxiu. Her cultivation had reached level 7 of the Extraordinaire and was the strongest among the girls. She had a light physique to begin with and her cultivation speed was about 10 times that of the members of the Dragon Palace. Coupled with the enhancement of the array formation of the Dragon Palace, her cultivation speed was simply heaven-defying. Wang Xian relied on the consumption of various elixirs and water tribe to improve rapidly. On the other hand, she only consumed a portion of the elixirs while the rest relied on her own cultivation. It was extremely perverse. Everyone flew out of the Dragon Palace. Ao Jian led his 10 subordinates to follow beside him while Ao Jian and the rest hid in the surroundings. Now that the Dragon Palace was on the right track, they were scouting out the ferocious and demonic beast races within a radius of 100 miles. They were preparing to devour them bit by bit. With Mao Zixin, an existence at the insightful void level, their future development would be much smoother. When Wang Xian flew out of the ocean, he immediately sensed the gazes hidden in the surroundings. Wang Xian swept his gaze over and a look of astonishment appeared in his eyes. There are so many spies. They should be investigating the matter of Dragon and Phoenix City. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. The name of Shanghai town had been changed to Dragon and Phoenix City. Furthermore, someone had established the Dragon and Phoenix Empire here. The general of the Ocean Cultivator army had been killed here. These matters could not be concealed. When news of Donghai City came, it caused a huge commotion. The city lord Lei Feihu was filled with shock. He immediately reported this matter to the king. When Starmoon Kingdom received this news, they were also filled with shock. A general had been beheaded, a town had been taken over, and a dynasty had been established. This was simply going against Starmoon Kingdom. However, they didn't make a move before they had a clear understanding of their opponent's strength. This caused the surroundings of Dragon Phoenix City to be filled with spies from Starmoon Kingdom. A town had been seized and a general had been killed. This matter couldn't be resolved so easily. A war was inevitable. A bunch of damned fellows? Wang Xian thought of Zhang Fengying's family and a hint of anger appeared on his face. Kill all the spies of Starmoon Kingdom. It's the Dragon King. Ao Yao's voice was heard and immediately disappeared from the surroundings. Wang Xian had arrived in Dragon Phoenix City for more than half a month. The city walls of Shanghai town had already been demolished. Dragon Phoenix City needed to be expanded. As the future imperial city, the future imperial capital, Fengyuan was preparing to expand it wantonly. One could see hundreds of thousands of people transporting stone materials. With the protection of the formation, it didn't matter whether the city walls were there or not. Sir Wang. Hello, Sir Wang. Wang Xian had just flown to the side of Dragon Phoenix City when he heard respectful voices. They looked at Wang Xian and then looked at Guan Shuqing and the rest who were beside Wang Xian. Their faces were filled with curiosity. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head with a smile. His gaze swept across the surroundings. As expected of the Empress, everything is in perfect order. Wang Xian praised in his heart. He flew directly to the location of the mayor's residence. In the future it would be the Royal Palace and the Imperial Palace. Flying was prohibited in Dragon Phoenix City, even for the city guards. However, to others Wang Xian was an exception. Even the leader of the city guards, Yan Wenshan, who was at level 2 of the see-through void stage, would not say anything. After all, this young man was a very special case in their eyes. His status could not even be compared to the loyal old servant of the Empress. Furthermore, this city was a gift from him to the Empress. Feng. Sister Feng. Wang Xian, Guan Shuqing, and the rest shouted as they landed in the city lord's mansion. The few girls' voices were filled with joy. Chapter 11:19. Chapter 11:19, Fengyuan's predicament. In the hall of the city lord's mansion, Fengyuan sat in the center. Beside her was the dean of the Dragon and Phoenix Academy, Yu Qingzi, the leader of the Dragon and Phoenix City Guards, Yan Wenshan, and the commander of the Dragon and Phoenix Army, Meng Hong. Jin Shenyuan sat on the left and right respectively. Jin Shenyuan was also the mayor of Holy See Town, and his strength was at rank 9. More importantly, the boldness that Jin Shenyuan displayed during the siege of the demon beasts had won the hearts of the people. Now, Jin Shenyuan's position was the city lord of Dragon Phoenix City. Although there were still Fengyuan and 3 insightful Void Realm experts above the city lord, Jin Shenyuan also knew that if the Dragon Phoenix dynasty really became powerful in the future, he would be the city lord of the imperial city. He would also be the founding minister of the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. Fengyuan, who was discussing the matter of Dragon Phoenix City in the hall, relaxed when she heard the voice from outside. She smiled and walked out. The 4 people in the hall looked at each other and knew who it was. Only that young man could make their queen let go of all her worries. Shuqing, Lingxiu, Yinxian, Ajia, Qinglan. Fengyuan walked out of the hall and saw Guan Shuqing and the others. She smiled and went up to them. Sister Fengyuan. Guan Shuqing saw her walk out and walked over with an intimate expression. She gave her a hug. Among the group of girls, Guan Shuqing and Fengyuan had the best relationship and were also the most intimate. Shuqing, I didn't expect you guys to come so soon. Fengyuan grabbed her arm with a face full of affection and sized her up from top to bottom. Where's Qingyue? Fengyuan chatted with them warmly one by one and suddenly found that Lan Qingyue was not here, so she asked curiously. Sister Qingyue took Xiaolan to explore the world alone. Guan Shuqing explained to her. Is that so? Fengyuan nodded her head slowly. Among Wang Xian's women, none of them were simple. However, the most mysterious one was Lan Qingyue. Even she could not see Lan Qingyue's potential clearly. Her weak strength gave her a terrifying sense of threat. Sister Feng Wan, we brought you many delicious things and beautiful clothes. A few girls took out some gifts from Earth and said to her happily. Thank you, sisters. Let's go to my room. Feng Wan nodded. She didn't have the demeanor of a great empress, but was more like an ordinary woman. Oh right, Miss Zhang Fengying is in Jin Liuyan's courtyard. You should go and see her. Feng Wan looked at Wang Xian and said suddenly. Okay. Wang Xian nodded. You guys catch up first. I'll go and take a look. Zhang Fengying? Seeing Wang Xian leave in a hurry, Guan Shuqing and the other girls raised their eyebrows and looked at Feng Wan. Sister Feng, who is Zhang Fengying? A very beautiful woman with a very hot figure. Feng Wan said directly. What? She has a hot figure like Sister Ajia? Guan Shuqing screamed immediately. Her figure is even hotter than Sister Ajia's. What's the relationship between Xiao Xian and her? I don't know. When I met Wang Xian, he already knew that beautiful woman. Moreover, their relationship was pretty good. This time, because of Wang Xian, their family was exterminated by the people of Donghai City. I knew that he wouldn't change. This pervert. Shuqing, what you said is wrong. You even scolded us like shit. However, Xiao Xian is the same as a pervert. We'll talk about it when he comes back. Sister Feng Wan, let's go. Tell us, what have you been doing for the past 3 years? Wang Xian walked out and heard the angry voices of the girls behind him. He shook his head bitterly. When he arrived at Jin Liuyan's courtyard, he knocked on the door. You're here. Wang Xian, you're here. You're here to see. Jin Liuyan's voice was heard. When she opened the door and saw Wang Xian, her eyes lit up and she asked. HMM, is he inside? Wang Xian nodded his head. He's sitting there. Jin Liuyan pointed at Zhang Fengying, who was sitting in front of the pool in the courtyard, and sighed slightly. She sat there and looked at the small pool in front of her with empty eyes. Compared to when they parted, she looked much more haggard. The aura of a strong woman had completely disappeared, revealing a sense of weakness. I'm sorry, I've implicated your Zhang family. Wang Xian walked over and said slowly. No. It's not your fault. All of a sudden, Zhang Fengying turned around when she saw Wang Xian. She sat on the bench and hugged Wang Xian's body. She couldn't help but cry. Ever since she found out that her family was destroyed, she was in a trance. Her family was destroyed and she lost all her family members. Now that she saw Wang Xian, whom she knew, she couldn't help but cry. I will avenge your family members. I promise we will kill them all. Wang Xian's hands landed gently on her back and patted her gently. Phew, I'm sorry. I need to calm down. Zhang Fengying, who had been sobbing for a few minutes, suddenly stood up and wiped the tears from her eyes. She took a deep breath and walked straight into the room. Fengying, Wang Xian stretched out his hand but didn't know how to console her. If you have anything to say, you can tell me. If there's anything I can do, tell me. Wang Xian hesitated for more than 10 minutes before walking to the door and speaking to her. However, Zhang Fengying did not respond. Wang Xian was helpless and stayed outside the door for more than 2 hours. I'm staying in the mayor's residence next door. If there's anything you need, come and look for me. I'll look for you tomorrow. The sky gradually turned dark. After saying that, Wang Xian walked out. Jin Liuyan watched from the side and didn't say anything. What? Sister Feng Wan, we don't have to be afraid. Come back to the Dragon Palace with us and cultivate for 1 to 2 years. We will definitely beat them up. When Wang Xian arrived at the mayor's residence, he heard Guan Shuqing's voice coming from inside. It's not as simple as you think. The king of Starmoon Kingdom has already broken through to the 4th level of the Void Interpretation stage. The king of Starmoon Kingdom has broken through to the 4th level. There was a mistake earlier and it has been revised. The stronger we act, the more they will be afraid of us. Feng Wan shook her head and said to them. Did you run into any trouble? At this moment, Wang Xian pushed open the door and entered. He asked Feng Wan. According to the information we received, the general and deputy general of the Star Moon Army have already led the Star Moon Army into East Sea City. They are accompanied by a deputy sect leader of the Sky Moon sect. Feng Wan did not hide anything when she saw Wang Xian enter. Star Moon Army? Sky Moon sect? Wang Xian looked at Feng Wan in confusion and asked her. The Star Moon Army is the strongest army in the Star Moon Kingdom. The leader is the younger brother of the current king, a level 3 see-through void martial artist. The Sky Moon sect is a sect in the Star Moon Kingdom. The deputy sect leader has the strength of a level 2 see-through void martial artist. Feng Yuan explained to Wang Xian. Chapter 1120. Chapter 1120. The army had arrived. On the transcendental continent, not only were there powerful kingdoms and empires, but there were also powerful sects, divine sects and divine sects. The Heavenly Moon sect was a powerful sect within the territory of Star Moon Kingdom. The sect was located on the Heavenly Moon Island next to Star Moon Kingdom, and there were 4 to 5 experts at the Profound Void tier within the sect. The sect master of the sect had the strength of a 3rd-level Profound Void tier expert. In the past, although the Heavenly Moon sect was located within the Star Moon Kingdom, because it was located on an island, the Star Moon Kingdom wasn't able to restrict it at all. Because the Star Moon Kingdom was afraid of the strength of the sect master of the Heavenly Moon sect, the two sides had always treated each other as equals. The Heavenly Moon sect had over 20,000 disciples, and most of them were talented disciples recruited from the Star Moon Kingdom's major cities. However, now that the Star Moon Kingdom's king had broken through, it was obvious that he had suppressed the entire Heavenly Moon sect. The vice commander of the Star Moon army also has the strength of a level 2 Profound Void martial artist, and in addition to the East Sea City Lord, a level 1 Profound Void martial artist. However, as far as I know, these people are definitely not the only ones who have arrived. Feng Yuan said as she slightly frowned. Currently, in Dragon Phoenix City, there were only 4 Profound Void martial artists in addition to her. However, she could not make a move because she wanted to act as a deterrent. Generals versus generals, kings versus kings. If even a king like her came out to fight, her strength would be exposed instantly. Star Moon Kingdom would also understand that the strongest person in this Dragon Phoenix Kingdom was a powerhouse at level 3 of the Insightful Void level. If that was the case, the king of Star Moon Kingdom might fly over directly and destroy this place. Have you thought of a solution? Wang Xian looked at her frowning face and asked worriedly. We still don't know the strength of our opponents. Star Moon Kingdom doesn't know our full strength either, so they will come over to test us. War against war. War against generals. If Star Moon Kingdom has a crushing victory, Star Moon Kingdom will basically be able to test out the strength of Dragon and Phoenix City. Feng Yuan spoke one by one. Although Holy Sea Town was only a town, it was not that easy to take it down. If he had chosen East Sea City back then, all the top-notch experts of Star Moon Kingdom would have gathered here by now. There was still room for maneuver after taking down a town. Will the strength of the Star Moon army be stronger than your subordinates? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan. Her army of more than 1,000 people was at least a level 7 supernatural realm expert. Although there were fewer people in this army, it was definitely very terrifying. Unless all the elite forces of the Star Moon Kingdom are mobilized, there really aren't any experts with the strength of the Dragon and Phoenix army. A smile appeared on Feng Yuan's face. She was very proud of building a powerful army within 2 years. One had to know that a rank 7 Transcendent expert could build a pretty good family in a town. A rank 9 Transcendent expert would be a peak expert in East Sea City. We'll deal with it when the time comes. Feng Yuan shook her head and looked at Guan Shuqing and the others. Sisters, Dragon Phoenix City is still under construction. There's nothing fun about it, but I can bring you to try the delicacies here. Sure, we haven't tried the dishes here yet. The few girls nodded their heads excitedly. Oh right, Xiao Xian, what's up with that beauty Zhang Fengying? Ajaya suddenly asked Wang Xian. She really wanted to see what that beauty who was even more popular than her looked like. This? Wang Xian revealed a bitter expression and told her everything helplessly. A few girls glared at him but didn't say anything. They walked out together with Feng Yuan. Feng Yuan changed her appearance so that the citizens of Dragon Phoenix City wouldn't be able to recognize her. After staying in Dragon Phoenix City for 2 days in a row, Wang Xian accompanied Shu Qing and the rest out for a stroll during the day. In the afternoon he went to visit Zhang Fengying and felt a lot more relaxed. Reporting to your majesty, there's news from the front. There's a large group of people heading towards our Dragon Phoenix City. On the morning of the 3rd day, Jin Qinyuan anxiously came to the hall and reported loudly. Are they here? Feng Yuan directly stood up with a solemn expression on her face. Have you estimated the strength of the other party? Feng Yuan directly walked toward the east gate and said with a gloomy face and cold eyes. The flag of the Star Moon Army has a total of 10,000 people. There are also over 10,000 people in East Sea City, a total of 20,000 people. We don't know exactly how many experts there are, but the Black Fiend battle team of the Star Moon Army is here. We don't know who is the void interpretation expert. Meng Hong and the other two lords have already left the city to welcome them. Jin Qinyuan reported with an embarrassed expression. Has the Black Fiend battle team made their move? Feng Yuan's face revealed a trace of solemnity. The Star Moon Army had 5 great battle teams, and the strongest one was the Black Fiend battle team. The Black Fiend battle team's mount, the Black Fiend Beast, was a type of extremely powerful fierce beast. The weakest one was at least at rank 6 extraordinary, and it was the Star Moon Army's trump card. This time the Black Fiend battle team was sent out directly. It seemed that the Star Moon Kingdom paid more attention to this Dragon Phoenix Kingdom that had suddenly appeared. Xiao Xian, Sister Feng Yuan seems to be in trouble. Guan Shuqing and the rest saw Feng Yuan walking out anxiously. They frowned and said to Wang Xian. Wang Xian revealed a contemplative look. Ao Jian, send someone to call the Wind Eye clan over. Also call the Strange Demon clan over. Let the Strange Demon clan hide first so that they won't be discovered by void interpretation experts. He said to Ao Jian, who was outside. He looked at the few girls and said, let's go and take a look too. Alright, if we can help Sister Feng Yuan, then help her more. We are her only family. Guan Shuqing and the rest nodded and said to Wang Xian. Don't worry. I will help her become the Empress again. Wang Xian revealed a hint of confidence in his eyes. What's going on? The army of Star Moon Kingdom is attacking us. These damn bastards. Bastards, kill them all. They didn't come to rescue us. In such a short period of time, so many soldiers have come. Kill them all. Kill those bastards of Star Moon Kingdom. In Dragon Phoenix City, when the citizens heard that the army of Star Moon Kingdom was attacking them, their faces were filled with rage. One by one, the citizens walked toward the east gate with furious faces. When Wang Xian and the group of women arrived at the east gate, they saw an army rushing towards them from a distance of 3 to 4 kilometers away. In the sky, 5 people were flying in the sky. An old man dressed in yellow armor and holding a long spear was in the middle. On the left and right sides, there were 2 middle-aged men and 2 old men. Each of their eyes were like torches. Their terrifying aura was not concealed at all. A group of 5 people with thousands of troops and horses rushed over with an aura that could ride the wind and break the waves. When the people who came to the east gate saw this scene, their faces changed drastically. Feng Yuan did not leave the city. She stared ahead with an expressionless face. Chapter 11:21. Chapter 11:21, On a Cloud-Piercing Arrow. Yu Qingzi, Yan Wenshan, and Meng Hong floated in the sky. Below them were more than 1,000 soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Legion. The 3 of them stared coldly at the 5 people 3 kilometers away. The more than 1,000 soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Legion also stared fixedly at the people of Star Moon Kingdom. I, Xingguang, am the general of the Star Moon Legion. I, Zhu Xiuwei, am the vice-general of the Star Moon Army. I am the vice-sect master of the Heavenly Moon Sect, the Heavenly Moon Star Brilliance. I am the Heavenly Moon Sect's elder, the Heavenly Moon Sun. I am the City Lord Lei Feihu. At this moment, 5 people who were floating in the sky and emitting a terrifying aura 3 kilometers away suddenly spoke. Their voices covered the entire Dragon and Phoenix City, and everyone could hear them clearly. What? The general of the Star Moon Army. Oh my God, it's the general of the Star Moon Kingdom, the Star Moon Army, and the experts of the Heavenly Moon Sect. It's Xingguang. It's him. It's actually Xingguang. A top-notch expert of the Star Moon Kingdom who once slaughtered 100,000 ferocious beasts by himself. He's incomparably powerful. It can't be. The Star Moon Kingdom actually produced such a terrifying expert. That's in existence at the 3rd level of the Profound Void tier. The Heavenly Moon Sect actually interfered this. When their voices spread throughout the entire Dragon Phoenix City, everyone's bodies stiffened. The names of these few people were like thunder that resounded in everyone's ears. In comparison, their former city lord, Lei Feihu, had the lowest status amongst this group of people. Especially the name Xingguanghuan. Everyone in Star Moon Kingdom knew of him. He was the general of the Star Moon Army, and he controlled the most powerful army in Star Moon Kingdom. They were also very familiar with the Heavenly Moon sect, the most powerful sect in Star Moon Kingdom. There were tens of thousands of elite disciples in the sect, and they were extremely powerful. Each and every name caused everyone in Dragon Phoenix City to reveal frightened expressions, and they discussed in fear. This time all the people were on tenterhooks. After all, the group of people in front of them were a group of legendary figures. In the past they had only heard of names. Just the name alone was enough to cause them to feel incomparable reverence. Now that they were actually here to attack them, how could they not feel fear and fear? The Dragon Phoenix dynasty dares to occupy the towns of our Star Moon Kingdom and establish a dynasty. They really don't put us in their eyes. Xing Guanghong, who was floating in the middle, revealed a cold expression. His gaze stared at Meng Hong, and his eyes flickered with a cold killing intent. Your Star Moon Kingdom's territory? No. Yu Qingzi, who held a feather fan in his hand, waved the fan in his hand. When the ferocious beasts and demon beasts attacked the city, you gave up on this town. After that, this town also gave up on your Star Moon Kingdom. What about your territory? That's right. When Holy Sea Town was once subjected to a destructive attack, what about Star Moon Kingdom's rescue? What about Star Moon Kingdom's insightful Emptiness Realm experts? Now that we've defended the town and broken away from Star Moon Kingdom, instead, insightful Emptiness Realm experts have come to invade us one after another. Ah, what a joke. At the rear, Jin Shenyuan roared loudly. Where were you when we were in despair? Now you're even fucking attacking us. Everyone from Star Moon Kingdom, scram. Get out of our place. This is the Dragon Phoenix City that we've defended. Scram. We're not from your Star Moon Kingdom. Scram. Jin Shenyuan's words also stirred up the anger of some of the citizens, and they roared loudly from behind. HMP, you're too stubborn. Xing Guanghuan heard the voice coming from ahead, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. He snorted coldly and said, I'd like to see what kind of strength you have to dare establish a dynasty in our territory. Soldiers of the Star Moon Army, get ready. He raised the long spear in his hand and roared. Yes. It was the soldiers of the Star Moon Army who responded to him. Yes. A cold killing intent resounded in the sky. It could be heard clearly even within a radius of dozens of miles. I'm warning you. Remove the formation and surrender immediately. Otherwise, kill everyone without mercy. Xing Guanghuan roared and warned them. Prepare to face the enemy. However, Meng Hong's cold voice responded to his warning. Good. It seems that all of you have become enemies of Star Moon Kingdom. Xing Guanghuan stared at Meng Hong and gripped the spear in his hand tightly. You dare to kill the general of Star Moon Kingdom and occupy the cities and towns of Star Moon Kingdom. All of you will die. Lei Feihu's eyes similarly flickered with a cold glint as he roared in a low voice. Get out of our Dragon Phoenix Empire's territory. Otherwise kill. Meng Hong did not show any signs of weakness as he glared at them and roared with killing intent. Kill? Below, the Dragon Phoenix Army's 1,000-plus people did not show any signs of weakness in the face of 20,000 enemies as they roared loudly. At this instant, the 1,000-plus people instantly unleashed their full strength. At the lowest level of Transcendent Level 7, there were more than 20 half-step Void Interpretation experts, and more than 100 Transcendent Level 9 experts. The moment this aura burst out, it slightly shocked the Star Moon Army. Even the pupils of Xing Guang and the 5 powerful Void Interpretation experts in the sky slightly constricted. There are more than 20 half-step Void Interpretation experts, and there are more than 100 Transcendent Level 9 experts. Lei Feihu's eyes widened, revealing a hint of shock. Where did they come from? How can there be so many top-notch experts? Xing Guangheng's expression slowly sank. More than 20 half-step Void Interpretation experts, and more than 100 Rank 9 Transcendents. Fortunately, the Heavenly Moon sect's core force came this time. Otherwise they wouldn't be their match. As he spoke, he looked at the 2 elders on the left. I also didn't expect that we, the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser, would be needed. The 2 elders frowned slightly. The Heavenly Moon sect had been forcefully taken over by the Star Moon Kingdom a few months ago and became a subsidiary sect. In fact, the Heavenly Moon sect had existed for a longer time than the Star Moon Kingdom. The Heavenly Moon sect had existed for more than 3,000 years. At that time, the sect master of the Heavenly Moon sect had the terrifying strength of a rank 6 profound void martial artist. However, after the death of the old sect master, the Heavenly Moon sect had declined somewhat. Today it had actually been taken over by the Star Moon Kingdom. However, they had no other way. The current Star Moon Kingdom was not something their Heavenly Moon sect could contend against. This time they followed the orders of the Star Moon King and brought the core strength of the Star Moon sect, the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser. The Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser had a total of 500 people. The strongest people in the entire Heavenly Moon sect had all joined the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser. Of the 500 people, the weakest was at rank 6 Transcendent, the strongest was at half-step Profound Void stage, and there were 11 people at half-step Profound Void stage. Although there weren't more than 100 rank 9 Transcendents, there were still more than 40 people. This was all the power that the Heavenly Moon sect possessed back then, when they weren't restricted by the Star Moon Kingdom. It was also the heritage left behind by the Heavenly Moon sect after 3,000 years of inheritance. Chapter 1122. Chapter 1122, Inside a Cloud-Piercing Arrow. With the power of the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser, the Black Fiend battle team of the Star Moon Army, and the soldiers of the Ocean Cultivator Army, we can deal with this group of people. Xingguang's eyes flickered as he stared at the 1,000-plus people of the Dragon and Phoenix Army. The strength of these 1,000-plus people was already comparable to the strongest army in Star Moon Kingdom, and was even slightly stronger. This time, if it wasn't for the Heavenly Moon sect's presence, they really didn't have the slightest bit of confidence. It's also fortunate that His Highness is wise enough to send our Star Moon Army's Black Fiend battle team. Standing beside Xingguang, the Star Moon Army's deputy commander, Zhu Xiuwei, who held a red staff in his hand, slightly narrowed his eyes as he spoke indifferently. The Black Fiend battle team was the strongest battle team in Star Moon Kingdom's strongest army, the Star Moon Army. It could be said that the Black Fiend battle team was the strongest battle team in the entire Star Moon Kingdom. Only the cream of the crop in the army had the qualifications to enter this battle team. The battle team had a total of 2,000 people, but there were dozens of extraordinary 9th-rank experts among them. There were even quite a number of half-step void interpretation experts. One should never underestimate the strength of a kingdom. With thousands of years of foundation and hundreds of millions of citizens, the possibility of nurturing dozens of extraordinary 9th-rank experts was still very high. This was especially so for some kingdoms. In order to nurture elite warriors, they would nurture bloodline warriors. For example, the half-step void interpretation bloodline that Wang Xian sold last time. After a kingdom purchased it, they would nurture such bloodline warriors. With the support of the kingdom, it was possible to nurture dozens of half-step void interpretation warriors. The captain of the Black Fiend battle team was an expert with the Black Fiend beast bloodline. His bloodline level had reached the peak. The ferocious beasts under him were also at the half-step void interpretation level. When combined with the Black Fiend beast, their strength was extremely terrifying. This was also one of the reasons why Feng Wan's expression was grave when she heard the Black Fiend battle team. Star Moon Kingdom's warriors, kill this group of intruders for me. Kill this group of traitors. Zhu Xiuwei raised the staff in his hand and gave an order. Kill. Roar, roar, roar. An angry roar and the roar of a fierce beast. In the middle of the two soldiers, a group of 2,000 soldiers who were emitting a terrifying aura were clad in black armor. The armor covered their entire bodies, leaving only a pair of cold eyes. Beneath them was a 3 to 4 meter long beast. The beast was also completely black, even its eyes were black. They had 2 huge fangs and their limbs were covered with dense spikes. Boom, boom, boom. The order to attack had been given, and the beast began to roar. Kill. The 20,000 soldiers at the back, ranging from Transcendent Level 4 to half-step void interpretation, charged forward in a frenzy. The advantage in numbers and the earth-shattering roars caused the entire Dragon and Phoenix City to tremble. They are going to fight together. There are too many of them. Damn it, are they going to fight with me? Kill them. Some of the citizens in the formation of Dragon and Phoenix City revealed furious expressions. Some of them even charged out with furious expressions. Can we deal with them? At this moment, Wang Xian saw Feng Wan who was standing in front of him. He walked over and asked in a deep voice. Yes. Feng Wan looked at the 20,000 enemies who were charging over. A faint smile appeared on her face. As long as Star Moon Kingdom does not deploy all their forces, we can deal with them. Meng Hong and the rest can also deal with the 5 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. That's good. Wang Xian nodded his head. At this moment, A voice that Wang Xian was familiar with came through the formation and charged towards the battlefield outside. Wang Xian was stunned for a moment before he frowned. "Ao Jian, you guys go and protect her. The other 5 strange demons are also following by her side," Wang Xian said immediately. Hearing his anxious voice, Feng Luan, Guan Shuqing, and the other girls looked at the figure who was charging towards the battlefield. They were slightly enlightened and glared at Wang Xian. "With just you people, you still want to destroy our Dragon Phoenix Empire? Dream on. Face the enemy." Meng Hong roared. "Kill?" The more than 1,000 soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix army also started to move. Even if it was 1,000 against 20,000, they did not show any signs of weakness. They did not even lose in terms of imposing manner. In the sky, the 5 insightful Emptiness Realm experts from Star Moon Kingdom fixed their eyes on Meng Hong and the other 2. Meng Hong and the other 2 did not show any signs of weakness. They gripped the weapons in their hands tightly, ready to fight at any moment. Soldiers versus soldiers. Generals versus generals. In the face of an overwhelming power, no one dared to act rashly. "General Xing, there's no need for us to act in a hurry. Today we'll let everyone see the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser that can match up to you." The Heavenly Moon Sect's Vice Sect Master, Tianyu Xinghua, revealed a faint smile on his face as he spoke to Xing Guanghan. "Tianyu chases the soul and seeks death, killing enemies thousands of miles away. Today I want to experience it." Xing Guanghan smiled and said, "Okay." Tianyu Xinghua revealed a proud expression. "Tianyu chases the soul," he shouted softly. At this moment, at the back of the army, there was a group of 500 people. Their clothes did not fit the soldiers in front of them. There was no armor on their bodies, only a green light armor. When Tianyu Xinghua finished speaking, the arms of the 500 people shook. Gorgeous bows and arrows appeared in their hands. The 500 people narrowed their eyes and a trace of coldness appeared in their eyes. A special metal bow and arrow appeared on the bow. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Before the 2 armies collided, terrifying arrows shot toward the Dragon and Phoenix army. "Defend." The deputy commander at the front of the Dragon and Phoenix Legion saw the incoming arrows and his expression changed slightly. A huge earth shield appeared in front of him. The rest of the people hurriedly defended. Because there were fewer people, the moment they blocked the arrows, the momentum completely disappeared. Ah! Ah! However, at this moment, a scream was heard. The expression of the vice leader of the Dragon and Phoenix Legion changed slightly. Meng Hong, who was floating in the sky, also had a huge change in expression. He looked down and found that more than 10 people had been hit by arrows and were instantly heavily injured. He stared ahead and his expression instantly darkened. The 500 people didn't have the slightest expression as they drew their bows again and aimed. "Tianyu Soul Chaser." The 500 people shouted at the same time, and 500 terrifying arrows attacked once again. "Not good, it's the Heavenly Moon Sect's Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser." Feng Luan, who was standing at the back, had a huge change in expression. The Heavenly Moon Sect actually used all of their elites. "It's the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser. Oh my god, it's the Heavenly Moon Sect's strongest trump card. Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser, it's the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser." In the past, Star Moon Kingdom had 2 large sects, but in the end, the Heavenly Moon Sect was directly destroyed in the battle. At that time, the Heavenly Moon Sect's Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser was famous throughout the world, and even the Star Moon royal family was extremely fearful of it. Within Dragon Phoenix City, when some of the citizens heard their voices, shock appeared on their faces. The Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser, 1 arrow killing. Chapter 1123. Chapter 1123, Under a Cloud-Piercing Arrow. Sky Moon Soul Chasing, 1 arrow killing. This was a legendary existence in Star Moon Kingdom. There were only 2 legends in Star Moon Kingdom. One was the Star Moon royal family, and the other was the Sky Moon Island. Now, 2 powerful factions had actually joined forces to attack their Dragon Phoenix City, causing the citizens in the city to reveal embarrassed expressions. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, the second round of attacks arrived. Arrows pierced through the air and instantly appeared in front of the Dragon Phoenix army. "Defend." The deputy leader of the Dragon Phoenix army roared. This time, even though they were prepared, more than a dozen people still fell to the ground under the terrifying arrows. The Heavenly Moon chasing soul was not as simple as it sounded. Archers were like snipers on the battlefield. Especially under such circumstances, their surroundings were all empty. There were 20,000 soldiers in front of them to help them defend against their opponents. Their 500 people did not have any worries at all. And among the 500 people of the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser, all of them were top-tier existences. The weakest was at Transcendent Level Rank 6, and the strongest was at Half-Step Void Interpretation. When the two armies fought, if one side had archers behind them, the side without archers would definitely be afraid during the battle. Because you didn't know when a bow and arrow would fly over and sink into your forehead. Especially such top-tier archers. The people of Dragon Phoenix City revealed embarrassed expressions. Those experts who went out to help in the battle were basically killed in an instant. Zhang Fengying, who had rushed out, would have been pierced through by an arrow if Ao Jian and the others had not helped to block the arrow. This made her extremely embarrassed as she stood there with clenched fists. I didn't expect that Star Moon Kingdom would actually send out so many experts. This is almost 2/3 of the entire Star Moon Kingdom's strength. Feng Yuan frowned, her expression somewhat unsightly. King Feng, what should we do now? The other party actually sent out so many experts, and there's even the Heavenly Moon Sect's Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser. Jin Qinyuan came to Feng Yuan's side and said with an unsightly expression. Kill? As he spoke, the Dragon Phoenix Army's 1,000+ people had already collided with Star Moon Kingdom's army. The first to bear the brunt was the powerful Black Fiend battle team. 1,000 men against 20,000 men. If it weren't for the 500 archers at the rear, they wouldn't have been afraid at all. However, the archers at the rear forced them to guard against the arrows that suddenly attacked them. Moreover, as the core strength of the Heavenly Moon Sect, the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser could easily hit a person even in a densely packed crowd. Even for such an expert, he could even control the trajectory of the arrow. The instant collision caused the Dragon and Phoenix Legion to be at a complete disadvantage. Meng Hong and the other two saw the archers behind them. Their faces revealed a furious expression as they tightly gripped the weapons in their hands. However, at the opposite position, 5 auras locked onto them. Hee, let me show you how terrifying our Tianyu Soul Chaser is. At the back, 500 people stood in a row with proud expressions on their faces. A middle-aged man's lips curled up slightly and his face was filled with confidence. Feng Yuan stood there and watched as dozens of soldiers were killed in less than a minute. She clenched her fists. These were the subordinates that she had painstakingly groomed. Every time she lost one of them, it would cause her great heartache. The war between soldiers has already been lost. I can only... Feng Yuan's eyes were filled with determination as she looked at Meng Hong and the other two. Wait, it's not over yet. However, before she could finish her sentence, Wang Xian patted her shoulder and looked to the left of the battlefield. Wang Xian, what do you have? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Just as she opened her mouth, she heard the sound of arrows piercing through the air. Every round of attacks would result in the deaths of at least a dozen soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Army. Now, they were already fighting with the soldiers of the Star Moon Army. Without any defense, there would be more casualties. Feng Yuan frowned and quickly looked over. Arrows shot at the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Army from a tricky angle. Oh no. They are no match for them. Those 500 guys with archers are too cunning. It's over, it's over. Our Dragon and Phoenix Empire will not be. At this moment, not only Feng Yuan's expression was extremely ugly, even the citizens of Dragon Phoenix City were somewhat desperate. The suppression was too great. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Just as everyone's faces were filled with embarrassment and even closed their eyes, the sound of wind whistling came from the left. Numerous green light spots were like meteorites that fell from the sky. It's over. I'm going to die. On the battlefield, dozens of people from the Dragon and Phoenix Legion looked at the arrows that were almost in front of them, their eyes filled with despair. Haha, go to hell. Beside their ears, the excited roars of the Star Moon Legion soldiers could be heard. Bang bang bang. Just when they were filled with despair and thought that they were going to die, an intense collision sound suddenly rang out in front of them. The arrow that was right in front of them was directly struck by an arrow that was condensed from green wind attribute energy, and it fell towards the ground. The soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Legion revealed shocked expressions on their faces. Even the soldiers of the Star Moon Legion who were surrounding them also had shocked expressions on their faces. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this moment, the sound of an arrow piercing through the air rang out once again. The expressions of the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Legion instantly changed. However, when they glanced behind them, they were shocked to discover that the heavenly moon soul chaser behind them did not attack. The sound came from the left. Cloud-piercing arrow. A soft shout came from the left and everyone hurriedly looked to the left. Xing Guang, the 5 insightful void martial experts, Meng Hong and the other 3 as well as Feng Yuan and everyone in Dragon and Phoenix City, all looked to the left. What entered their eyes was a group of green-colored demonic beasts with long arms and 2 horns on their heads flying over. Their bodies were emitting green energy and they held a longbow in their hands. This green longbow was much larger than an ordinary bow. Everyone's faces were filled with astonishment. Ah! At this moment, a miserable cry sounded on the battlefield. Everyone looked over and couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. A hollow position appeared in the center of the entire battlefield. Corpses lay on the ground, their bodies crisscrossing the entire battlefield. There were people who were still alive on the ground, groaning in pain. Out of over 300 arrows, 3,000 to 4,000 people had fallen. Even the members of the Black Fiend battle team had dozens of people lying on the ground, not moving at all. A neat bloody scar appeared on the battlefield. A cloud-piercing arrow, and a bloody cloud. Chapter 11:24. Chapter 11:24, Wind Eye Illusion Arrow. Hiss. Looking at the thousands of corpses on the battlefield, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. What terrifying archery skills! An arrow actually pierced through so many people. This is simply too terrifying. Is this our Queen's trump card? This is too powerful. What kind of demonic beast race is that? What formidable strength, what terrifying archery skills. In Dragon and Phoenix City, everyone looked at the cyan-colored figures flying towards them in shock. Their slender bodies and arms, as well as their cyan-colored skin, gave off a different kind of coldness. Muzisen's gaze was like a torch. His cyan-colored pupils scanned the surroundings. His gaze landed on Wang Xian and flew towards him. A group of more than 500 strong people from the Wind Eye clan was emitting a cyan glow. They arrived in front of the east gate of Dragon and Phoenix City in an instant. Compared to 6 to 7 days ago, the current Wind Eye clan had undergone a huge change. After cultivating the Wind Attribute Divine Dragon transformation, their bloodline had undergone a huge transformation, even though they had only stayed in the Dragon Palace for 6 to 7 days. However, with the spiritual energy in the Dragon Cave, 1 day of cultivation was equivalent to 16 days outside. 6 to 7 days of cultivation was equivalent to more than 3 months of continuous cultivation without sleep. The transformed Wind Eye clan was even more powerful. This was also the first time Wang Xian saw the archery skills of the Wind Eye clan. Back then, Mao Zedong only shot 1 arrow and landed on Xiaolan. As a Kuan, the most powerful thing was its defense. At that time, Xiaolan was not injured at all. After that, she became a member of the Dragon Palace under the threat of Prime Minister Gue. Now, the Wind Arrow clan of the Dragon Palace. The weakest among them was at level 6 of the Extraordinary Realm. Now that they had undergone a metamorphosis, their strength had been raised to a whole new level. There were more than 300 members of the Wind Eye clan. The weakest among them could even fight against the level 7 of the Extraordinary Realm. The Wind Eye clan, which was already quite strong, was now even more terrifying. Today they could be considered to have completely displayed the strength of the Wind Eye clan. King? Mao Zedong flew to the front of Wang Xian and greeted him respectfully. In front of the others, Wang Xian did not reveal his identity as the Dragon King to avoid causing unnecessary trouble. King? The members of the Wind Eye clan behind him also greeted Wang Xian respectfully. Assist them. Wang Xian did not say much and ordered Mao Zedong directly. Yes. Mao Zedong nodded and flew into the sky. A group of people from the Wind Eye clan lined up in a row. Mao Zedong, who was standing at the front, had no emotion in his eyes. Boom. Damn, it's Lord Wang's subordinate. Haha, Lord Wang has called people over. Oh my god, that cool creature in the center seems to be a void interpretation level powerhouse. It's too powerful. Their archery skills are so strong. Now that Lord Wang has called people over to help, we are not afraid of them at all. What is Lord Wang's identity? Even void interpretation experts call him king. The people of Dragon Phoenix City who were not far away heard the words of Mao Zedong and the others and looked at them in shock. Looking at the same line of the Wind Eye clan, they were excited. That cloud-piercing arrow just now killed thousands of people. It was simply too cool. This? Feng Wan's eyes flickered. Her eyes were also filled with shock. He was very clear about the strength of the Dragon Palace. When he left, there was not a single person at the first level of the extraordinary realm. However, now, there was actually a subordinate at the insightful Void Realm leading a group of powerful subordinates. She knew that the increase in Wang Xian's strength was very terrifying. However, this speed, wasn't it too fast? He stared at Wang Xian in disbelief. What greeted him was Wang Xian raising his head slightly proudly, which made her feel amused. Where did this demonic beast come from? How could it be so strong? The one standing at the front is an expert at the insightful Void tier. I can't tell his actual strength. Meanwhile, Xing Guang and the other 5 people in the sky saw the sudden appearance of the Wind Eye clan and their faces immediately darkened. Especially when they saw a profound Void tier powerhouse appear out of nowhere, their expressions became somewhat solemn. They actually have the help of the Demon Beast clan. Lei Feihu's face was also filled with shock, and his gaze flickered as he stared at Mu Zhisan. Up until now, the Queen of the Dragon Phoenix Kingdom had yet to appear. Instead, another profound Void tier powerhouse had appeared, which made their hearts even more vigilant. This demon beast race is somewhat familiar. The Heavenly Moon Sect's Heavenly Moon Star Flower looked at the wind-eyed race with a contemplative expression. However, while the group of profound Void tier experts were conversing, the battle below continued. Archery, what kind of demon beast is this? It actually wants to compete with us in archery? At the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser's position, a group of 500 people stared at the members of the wind-eyed race in the sky from afar. Their faces revealed an icy expression. No matter what kind of demonic beasts they are, since they want to compete with us in archery skills, let's show these beasts our strength, hee. A middle-aged man from Sky Moon Soul Chaser laughed with confidence. He moved his arm and took out a special arrow. Shoot them all down. Another old man shouted and instantly pulled the bowstring to its maximum. Tornado arrow. In the Wind Eye clan, an old man from the Wind Eye clan ordered in a deep voice. Buzz. In an instant, all the members of the Wind Eye clan drew the bows in their hands. Their arms lit up with a green light. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, the attack of the Wind Eye clan was launched while the members of the Heavenly Moon Chasing Soul clan were preparing to attack. A green arrow was spinning rapidly at the tip of the arrow, as if it was about to tear through the air and attack Sky Moon Soul Chaser's 500 men. Damn, what speed! Sky Moon Soul Chaser's members' expressions changed slightly. If the opponent's attack was launched, they had to dodge or shoot down the arrow. No matter which one it was, it would cause them to lose the initiative. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They directly released the arrows in their hands and shot at the tornado arrows. Boom! The arrows collided one after another, causing the arrows of both sides to lose their direction. Meanwhile, the arrows of over 100 Sky Moon Soul Chaser experts who were not attacked continued to attack the Wind Eye clan. Buzz. Over 100 members of the Wind Eye clan waved their arms, drew their bows and arrows and shot them out casually. After the arrows were shot out, they turned into shields under everyone's astonished gazes. When Heavenly Moon Chasing Soul's arrows landed on the shields, they instantly lost most of their power. What? The arrows are being released to freely transform. What kind of archery technique is this? When they saw that the arrows shot out by the Wind Eye clan actually turned into shields, Heavenly Moon Chasing Soul and the others' expressions changed slightly, and they revealed shocked expressions. This seems to be the Wind Eye Illusion Arrow. Wherever the arrow reaches, there will be a myriad of changes. Killing comes first. That's right, it's the Wind Eye Illusion Arrow. Suddenly, the Heavenly Moon Sect's Vice Sect Master, Tianyu Xinghua, who was standing in the void, saw this scene and thought of a legendary demonic beast race. His face revealed a shocked expression. Chapter 1125. Chapter 1125 was once a member of the Illusionary Arrow clan. What Wind Eye Illusionary Arrow? Xing Guang heard Tianyu Xinghua's words and frowned as he looked at him. You still remember? Tianyu Xinghua recalled as a hint of shock flashed in his eyes. Just as he was speaking, the elder from the Wind Eye clan looked ahead with a calm expression. Let them witness our Wind Eye clan's new divine ability and let them know that the Wind Eye Illusion Arrow has returned. As the elder spoke, he slowly drew the longbow in his hand. There was nostalgia, coldness, and a trace of killing intent. Yes. All the members of the Wind-Eye clan nodded, their eyes revealing a cold green light. Wind-Eye Illusion Arrow Wind Dragon. Wind-Eye Illusionary Arrow Wind Dragon. The old man shouted and all the members of the two rows shouted. Wind-Eye Illusionary Arrow Wind Dragon was the first divine ability they had comprehended after possessing the divine dragon bloodline. It was also the most powerful divine ability they had mastered. Attack. More than 300 members of the Wind-Eye clan lined up neatly, their bodies emitting a dense green light. Roar. The moment the bow was fully drawn, a dragon's roar was heard from above. Roar, roar, roar. The moment it was released, an inviolable pressure was emitted from the arrow. This pressure carried traces of pressure. Not good. Just as he was introducing the Wind-Eye Illusion Arrow to Xing Guanghun, he heard the roar and hurriedly looked over. A frightened expression appeared on his face as he hurriedly looked down. He moved and wanted to attack, but at this moment, cold sweat appeared on his forehead. He looked over and found that the Meazine arrow was aimed at him. On his bow, a 1-meter-long wind dragon was circling above it, as if it could launch a fatal attack at any time. Tianyu Xinghua's pupils contracted slightly, and he quickly shouted to the group of Tianyu soul chasers below, "Hurry up and dodge." The Tianyu soul chasers who had their bowstrings fully drawn were already prepared to face the Wind-Eye clan's incoming arrows. They were momentarily stunned. Attack. At this moment, Yu Qingzi, who held a feather fan in his hand, swept his gaze across the Wind-Eye clan. When he saw the situation, he directly said, "Haha, kill." Meng Hong heard Yu Qingzi's words and roared loudly. His entire person was like a prehistoric ferocious beast as he directly attacked Xing Guanghun. Yen Wenshan, who was at the side, slightly moved the red staff in his hand. A terrifying chain directly attacked the vice commander of the Star Moon Army. A battle at the profound void tier was about to erupt at any moment. Boom! In an instant, a terrifying explosion sound came from the sky. The Vice Sect Master and Elders of the Heavenly Moon Sect did not have the time to bother about the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser below. They hurriedly faced the battle. "HMP's break for me." One of the Elders of the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser snorted coldly when he saw the green arrow coming at them. The arrow in his hand directly shot out. Bang! The specially made metal arrow, which was accompanied by the sharpness of various attributes, collided with the green attribute arrow, producing an intense sound. Roar! However, just when everyone of the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser thought that they could easily cancel out the arrows of the members of the Wind-Eye clan, a roar suddenly came from the green arrow. The ordinary arrow directly turned into a terrifying dragon head. The 3 to 4 meter long dragon head directly attacked Tianyu Soul Chaser. What? When Tianyu Soul Chaser and the others saw this scene, their faces revealed a shocked expression. "Dodge, quickly dodge." The old man in the middle hurriedly shouted with a face full of fear. Everyone from Tianyu Soul Chaser hurriedly dodged to the side. Their speed was incomparably fast. As archers who specialized in long-range attacks, their close combat strength was very poor. However, their speed had always been something that they were proud of. Roar, roar. However, what caused them to be frightened was that the enormous dragon head suddenly opened its eyes. Its green eyes seemed to have come to life completely. The dragon head followed their bodies and chased after them at an even faster speed. What? This time, everyone from the Heavenly Moon Chasing Soul clan had terrified expressions on their faces. Even the half-step to profound void martial experts were shocked. They glanced at the people from the Wind-Eye clan in the distance and were shocked to find that their eyes were glowing. Their eyes were controlling the attack through the eyes of the dragon head. What kind of demonic beast race is this? Everyone's faces were filled with shock. Roar. Ah. Right at this moment, a scream came from the side of their ears. Ah. Following that, the screams continued without end. What? At the center of the battlefield, the Star Moon Army soldiers looked over, their faces filled with shock. Just now, that demonic beast race had killed thousands of their comrades with one arrow. Now, they were actually separated by more than 3,000 meters, directly killing the experts of the Sky Moon Soul Chaser. That was the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser. The threat of the Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser had even caused their Star Moon Army to be extremely fearful. Especially that archery technique, it was impossible to guard against. That's right, it's definitely a Wind-Eye illusion arrow. Wherever the arrow reaches, there will be a myriad of changes. Killing is the first priority. The heavenly moon starlight's gaze swept downwards as he roared loudly. The first sentence, where the gaze reaches, the arrow will reach. This was the most powerful aspect of the Wind Eye clan. They could use their eyes to control the arrow. As long as it was within their sight, the arrow would be able to attack. As for the second sentence, there were countless variations, killing first. This was another terrifying aspect of the Wind Eye clan. They were able to transform the arrow that they attacked into other forms. They could defend and attack, but killing the enemy first was the priority. Miserable screams rang out one after another. Soon, half of the 500 Heavenly Moon Soul pursuers were killed. This caused the Heavenly Moon Soul pursuers who had dodged this disaster to be filled with fear. FUCK, they're so strong. They're so strong. Heavens, what is this? The arrows can transform into a fierce beast and can be controlled at will. Haha, it's too powerful. With them around, we will definitely win this battle. In Dragon and Phoenix City, when the crowd saw this scene, their faces revealed a shocked expression. Although they didn't see many people die from the distance, they could clearly hear the miserable screams. Their gazes looked towards the Wind Eye clan that was lined up in the sky, and their eyes were filled with shock. Whoosh! At this moment, Mao Zedong's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. He pointed with his arm and shot an arrow at Lei Feihu. Lei Feihu, who was besieging Yu Qingzi with the deputy commander of the Star Moon Army, felt the sharpness of the arrow. His expression changed drastically and he quickly dodged to the side. Chapter 11:26. Chapter 11:26. Retreated from the enemy. As far as the eye can see and as far as the arrow can reach, it seems that many people have forgotten the fame of our Wind Eye illusory arrow. Mao Zedong's eyes revealed a trace of contempt when he saw the city lord of East Sea City, Lei Feihu, dodge his arrow. Even though both of them were at rank 1 of the exceptional realm, his eyes were still filled with contempt. Their Wind Eye Demon Beast clan was once famous, and they had shaken the neighboring Wind Howl Kingdom. At that time, their reputation was well known even in the Star Moon Kingdom. Before joining the Dragon Palace, Mao Zedong's strength had been at the peak of the first level of the Profound Void tier. Now that he had obtained the Divine Dragon bloodline and cultivated the Wind Dragon transformation, his strength had faintly reached the second level of the Profound Void tier. Now the only thing missing was a bit of time in the process of transforming his divine ability into a Dharma idol. Whoosh! Lei Feihu dodged Mao Zedong's attack and heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. However, at this moment he suddenly felt a sense of danger coming from behind him. His expression changed and with a flash he appeared several thousand meters in the air. Looking at the arrow that was still chasing after him, his eyes revealed a cold expression. Lei Mang. He was wearing a blue glove in his hand, and he clenched his fist tightly as he attacked the arrow below. Boom! A bolt of lightning that was 7 to 8 meters thick turned into Lei Mang and attacked the arrow. A terrifying explosion sounded and the arrow disappeared. Mao Zedong did not continue to attack Lei Feihu. He turned his head and drew the bowstring in his hand. Green light flashed on the bowstring and a 1-meter-long arrow shot toward the Elder of the Heavenly Moon Sect in the sky. Only Lei Feihu and the Elder of the Heavenly Moon Sect had the strength of the first level of the Profound Void tier. Once they were attacked by Mao Zedong, they would be injured. Whoosh! An arrow shot across the sky and directly attacked the Elder of the Heavenly Moon Sect, who was 4,000 to 5,000 meters away in the sky. The Elder of the Heavenly Moon Sect and the Deputy Sect Master of the Heavenly Moon Sect were jointly attacking Yan Wenshan, who was holding a magic staff. The two of them were working together to attack one person, but at this moment, their faces were filled with vigilance. They were somewhat shocked. This middle-aged man holding a staff and attacking with flames in his hand was simply like a ghost or god. The terrifying control, the terrifying temperature of the flames as well as the terrifying abhijna, caused the two of them to be in an extremely sorry state. Even the elders of the Heavenly Moon Sect were almost injured. On the other hand, Yan Wenshan was as calm as a breeze and did not feel the slightest bit of pressure. This made people's faces extremely ugly. After all, Yan Wenshan, was the empress who personally taught him the art of fire 1,000 years ago. She was once the empress who was at the peak of the Transcendence continent. Under his teachings, if he could not crush those of the same level, then Yan Wenshan, would be able to smash his head into a rock. The sound of arrows rang out, causing the expressions of the elders of the Heavenly Moon Sect to change greatly. He already knew the identity of the Wind Eye clan, the Wind-Eye Demon Beast clan that had shaken the entire Howling Wind Kingdom a few hundred years ago. If it wasn't for the conflict between the royal family of the Howling Wind Kingdom and the Wind-Eye clan back then, the Howling Wind Kingdom might have become several times stronger now. Hearing the sound of the arrow, the Heavenly Moon Sect elder hurriedly wanted to dodge to the side. Hee hee. However, at this moment, a disdainful laugh suddenly sounded in his ear. The Sky Moon Sect elder's expression changed drastically. He looked around and saw many fiery red chains writhing around him. Deputy Sect Master. He quickly cried out for help. Break for me. The Sky Moon Sect Deputy Sect Master waved his arm and numerous thorns attacked the arrow, breaking the arrow that Muzasin shot out. First, pin down the Wind-Eye Illusion Arrow's insightful Emptiness Realm expert. Otherwise, his attacks can even threaten a second-level Insightful Emptiness Realm expert. Get close to him and tie him down. The Heavenly Moon Sect's Deputy Sect Master roared loudly. Lei Feihu, tie him down. The Star Moon Army's deputy commander gritted his teeth and fought against Yu Qingzi. He swept his gaze over and roared loudly. Good. Lei Feihu hovered in the air over 2,000 meters high. He stared at Mao Zishan and a fierce expression appeared in his eyes. Dharma Idol, Thunder Tiger Roar. Having witnessed Mao Zishan's powerful archery skills, Lei Feihu did not hesitate at all and directly unleashed his most powerful attack. Thunder Tiger Roar. He heavily slammed both of his hands toward the area below, and the thunder and lightning all over his body exploded and gathered in front of him. Boom boom. Roar. A thunder and lightning tiger that was at least 100 meters in size roared. It stared at the area below and directly dashed forward. The crackling sound of lightning exploded in the air, causing everyone's scalps to go numb. Mao Zishan saw Lei Feihu charging towards him, and an illusion appeared in his hand. Wung wung wung. In an instant, a dense number of arrows flew towards Lei Feihu in just a second. Roar. Lei Feihu's expression changed slightly. With an angry roar, the 100-meter-long Lei Hu opened his huge mouth and attacked the wind arrows. Mao Zishan looked at the Lei Hu who was only a few hundred meters away from him. His expression did not change as the green glow on his arm intensified. Wang Xian, tell your men not to attack. Let me do it. At this moment, Wang Xian, who was watching the battle with a smile on his face in Dragon Phoenix City, suddenly heard the voice of Feng Yuan from the side. He was slightly taken aback. He looked over and realized that Feng Yuan was like a volcano that was about to erupt. His heart skipped a beat and he immediately sent a voice transmission to Mao Zishan. Mao Zishan was slightly taken aback when he heard Wang Xian's words. His figure flashed slightly and instantly pulled away from Lei Feihu by 1,000 meters. Don't even think about escaping. Lei Feihu saw that Mao Zishan wanted to dodge. His eyes revealed a cold glint as he growled in a low voice. Boom. However, at this moment, a will of death instantly enveloped his heart. Lei Feihu's expression changed drastically, and his forehead was instantly filled with cold sweat. A great fear descended upon him. To everyone's surprise, a small fireball that was almost condensed to the extreme flew towards Lei Feihu's location. The fireball's speed seemed very slow, but Lei Feihu did not even have the time to react. The fireball landed on the lightning around him, and the lightning instantly ignited a red flame. No! Sensing the terrifying danger contained within the fireball, Lei Feihu's scalp almost exploded, and he let out a terrified roar. This roar spread across dozens of miles. Boom! The explosion wasn't very big and it only covered an area of 3 to 4 meters. The explosion exploded Lei Feihu's body. Finally, the ball of flames, including Lei Feihu, turned into white smoke and disappeared. The terrified screams and the muffled sound of the explosion caused the entire battlefield to fall into dead silence. Xing Guang and the other 4 insightful void martial artists looked over, and their expressions changed drastically. An instant kill. A level 1 insightful void martial artist was actually killed in an instant. He did not have any strength left to resist, and he did not even leave behind a trace. What kind of strength was this? At least he was at least at the 3rd level of the extraordinary realm or even higher. Fear flashed in the eyes of the 4 of them. Get out of our place. Otherwise, none of you will be able to leave. Feng Yuan's emotionless voice rang out, causing the hearts of everyone in Star Moon Kingdom on the battlefield to jump. Only Wang Xian, who was standing beside her, saw Feng Yuan's trembling arm. She was making a scene. Chapter 1127. Chapter 1127, Retreated from the Enemy. The entire battlefield fell into a slight silence. Xing Guanghuan, the two insightful Emptiness Realm experts from the Heavenly Moon sect, and the Deputy General of the Star Moon Army kept changing their expressions. He hurriedly distanced himself from Meng Hong and the other two, and looked over with uncertain expressions. Insta-kill. The effect of an insightful Emptiness Realm expert being insta-killed shocked everyone. Especially since the one who had attacked just now was the mysterious Queen of Star Moon Kingdom. None of them knew how powerful this mysterious queen was. This was also the first time they had seen this mysterious queen attack. The moment she attacked, she shocked all of them. The four of them looked at Meng Hong, Yu Qingzi, and Yan Wenshan with embarrassed expressions. In the battle just now, they had witnessed how terrifying these three people were. In a one-on-one battle, they had always been suppressed. If they fought for a long time, they would definitely lose. These three people were all top-notch existences of the same level. Their gazes looked towards the center of the battlefield, and their expressions became even darker. The entire battlefield was in a one-sided situation after the Heavenly Eye illusory arrow sniped the Heavenly Moon Soul Chasers experts. The Dragon and Phoenix Corps 1,000 plus experts quickly massacred their Star Moon Corps soldiers. More than 20 half-step Void Interpretation Realm experts and more than 100 Transcendent 9th rank experts. Even though their numbers were relatively small, it was still not something their corps could withstand. In the short 2 minutes after Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser was attacked, at least several thousand of their subordinates died. As for the experts of the Dragon Phoenix Army, they suffered very little losses. They were defeated. They knew that their attack on the Dragon Phoenix Empire this time had already failed. In fact, if the mysterious queen did not stop until she died, they might lose even more. When they came, they had never expected that a dynasty that occupied their town and established a kingdom would have so many terrifying experts. Especially the appearance of the Heaven-Eyed Demon Beast clan, which completely defeated their attack this time. In the current situation, the mysterious queen had killed a rank 1 Void Interpretation expert with only one move. 2 peak rank 2 Void Interpretation experts and a peak rank 3 Void Interpretation expert. There was also an expert from the Heaven's Eye Demon Beast clan. They had completely defeated them. Retreat. Xing Guanghuan roared with an embarrassed expression. The Star Moon Army soldiers hurriedly retreated. The Dragon and Phoenix Army did not pursue them. They stared at them coldly. I'm establishing a dynasty here and establishing the Dragon and Phoenix Imperial City. Does your Star Moon Kingdom have any objections? At this moment, Feng Luan flew into the sky, her veil completely covering her face. This time she did not exude the aura of an expert. Instead, she exuded the aura of a superior from within. She did not exude any aura, but the aura of an emperor who controlled the world was completely unleashed. The former great empress had unleashed her might. His strength is definitely not lower than the Star Moon King. Cough cough, even if his strength is not unleashed, just this demeanor is definitely not an ordinary profound void martial artist. The vice sect master and elders of the Sky Moon sect looked at Feng Luan who was standing in the sky. They almost had the urge to worship her in their hearts as they growled in astonishment. Even when they met the Star Moon King, they did not feel this way. Xing Guanghuan stared at the mysterious queen of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire in the sky, and his expression was extremely grave. He realized that he did not even dare to look her in the eye. This queen's strength is absolutely terrifying. He thought to himself, and his expression kept changing. Go retreat. Xing Guanghuan gritted his teeth and said to all the soldiers of the Star Moon Kingdom in a deep voice. If there's a next time, my Dragon Phoenix Empire will make sure that you all never return. Feng Luan's eyes flashed with a trace of joy when she saw them leave, and she spoke coldly. Xing Guanghuan's body stiffened, and without the slightest expression, he directly flew forward. He had suffered a great defeat. Moreover, once they left, it also meant that the Dragon Phoenix Empire would be officially established, and their Star Moon Kingdom would be unable to do anything about it. We won, haha, we won. Star Moon Kingdom admitted defeat. They actually admitted defeat. That's great. The Queen is mighty, the Queen is invincible, and she instantly killed a Void Interpretation expert with a single move. That's too amazing. The citizens of Dragon Phoenix City revealed excited expressions as they waved their arms in excitement. They had won, they had actually won. As citizens of Star Moon Kingdom, they were extremely clear about the power of Star Moon Kingdom. However, Star Moon Kingdom had actually returned in defeat. Those legendary missions had been defeated by the experts of their kingdom. Their former city lord had been instantly killed by the queen in one move. They were as powerful as the Star Moon Kingdom. And as citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix dynasty, they were incomparably happy. Even if they were only a small city now, they would definitely become a powerful dynasty in the future. As citizens of the Imperial City, their lives would also become better and better. This caused everyone's faces to be filled with excitement. Feng Yuan saw them leave and a trace of a smile appeared on her face. She knew that the Dragon Phoenix dynasty could be considered to have completely stabilized. Her deterrence had also played a sufficient role. The Star Moon Kingdom would definitely think that she was a high-level insightful emptiness realm expert. In addition to the experts under her, the Star Moon King did not dare to take the risk to come and attack them. After all, this was only a small city in Star Moon Kingdom. Go and rest for a while. Wang Xian's voice rang in her ears, causing the smile on her face to become even more radiant. She moved and landed beside Wang Xian. I have to thank you this time. If not, it would be troublesome. Feng Yuan looked at Wang Xian and said with gratitude in her eyes. If it wasn't for the sudden appearance of the Heaven's Eye demonic beast, the Dragon and Phoenix army would have lost at least half of their strength. No need. It's just a small matter. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head. Sister Feng Yuan, it's my duty to help you. Hehe. Guan Shuqing and the other girls walked over and said with smiles on their faces. Our Dragon and Phoenix Empire is officially established in the Transcendence continent. As the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, you will be the founding members of the Empire in the future. With the Empire around, you don't have to worry about the ferocious beasts attacking the city. Here, everyone has the chance to become a powerhouse. Everyone has the chance to become the founding general of the Empire. Feng Yuan turned around and looked at all the citizens of Dragon Phoenix City. Long live the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. Outside of Dragon Phoenix City, Meng Hong shouted loudly. Long live the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. The experts of the Dragon Phoenix army also shouted loudly. Long live the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. Long live the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. All the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix dynasty shouted excitedly. They naturally knew what benefits would come with the rise of a dynasty. The current policies, benefits, and security were dozens of times better than in the Star Moon dynasty. Chapter 1128. Chapter 1128 was stable. He's too powerful. Our army, our general, is simply too powerful. Ah, that's right. However, the most powerful one is still Lord Wang Xian. Lord Wang Xian actually called for a powerful demonic beast race. His archery skills are simply too domineering. General Meng Hong is also very impressive. That gigantic saber radiance seems to be able to split the heaven and earth apart. Xing Guang is a legendary figure in Star Moon Kingdom, yet he was still chased and beaten by Lord Meng Hong. The most domineering ones are the experts of the Wind Eye clan. They're simply too cool. They killed their enemies from thousands of miles away. That powerful Heavenly Moon Sect's Heavenly Moon Soul Chaser was directly killed by more than half of the experts of the Wind Eye clan. Lord Muzison is also very cool. He directly shot and killed an expert of the first and second rank of the Profound Void Realm. With Lord Wang in our Dragon Phoenix dynasty, there is no enemy that we can't defeat. I just feel that Lord Queen is the strongest. She killed an expert of the see-through realm in a single move. TSK, I almost knelt down at that time. When Feng Yuan, Wang Xian, and the rest flew towards the city lord's residence, the citizens of Dragon Phoenix City were talking excitedly. They looked at everyone in the Dragon Phoenix army with admiration and yearning on their faces. The fact that Dragon Phoenix City withstood the attack of Star Moon Kingdom was undoubtedly a reassurance for everyone in Dragon Phoenix City. Following that, the thoughts of all the citizens became active. The current Dragon Phoenix Empire was just as the Queen had said. Everyone had the chance to become a powerhouse, and everyone had the chance to become a founding general. The Dragon Phoenix Empire possessed the power of the Star Moon Kingdom, and it would definitely develop in the future. Those who advanced together with the Empire would definitely receive top-notch treatment. The Dragon Phoenix Empire had just been established, and many positions were vacant. If they could join, they would be able to rise above others and live a better life. If the dynasty was strong, they would be strong as well. Moreover, now that the Dragon Phoenix dynasty had established the Dragon Phoenix Academy, the experts of the second level of the insightful emptiness realm would personally guide them. Their children would enter the academy and become the first batch of students. In the future, they would definitely be able to have an official position and enjoy extremely high treatment. Lu Qianjun, Lu Hanhai, and Lu Qianhai in today's battle with the Star Moon Kingdom did not fear death. They fought to the death and died in the battle. As the hero of the Dragon Phoenix dynasty, the queen will reward the only descendant of the Lu family, Lu Qing, with the bloodline of a group of demon beasts of the second level of the insightful emptiness realm, and the Lu family with their sacrifice for the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. In addition, in this battle, all the sacrificed citizens will be rewarded by Her Majesty the Queen. At this moment, Yu Qingzi's voice suddenly rang out in Dragon Phoenix City, causing all the citizens who were discussing to reveal shocked expressions on their faces. What? Reward the demon beast bloodline of the profound void second-rank Wind-Eye clan? Oh my god, if this is the Lu family ascending to the heavens in one step. I can't believe it. Is this true? They actually offered such a generous reward. The bloodline of the profound void second-rank demon beast is able to make the Lu family a top-notch family. Oh my god, the Lu family is a family that escaped from Shilai Town. It's an aristocratic family of mercenaries. When Shilai Town was destroyed, more than half of the family members died. After Lord Wang saved Dragon Phoenix City, they were very grateful to Lord Wang. This time, when Star Moon Kingdom invaded, the furious Lu family trio were the first to rush out. I didn't expect that the Queen actually rewarded such a terrifying thing. Everyone in Dragon Phoenix City froze. Many of them were trembling and their eyes were burning. The sacrifice of 3 members of the family had exchanged for a demon beast bloodline at the second level of the profound void tier, and for the chance for their descendants to become top-tier experts. This was simply a great thing. As long as one pays for the Dragon Phoenix dynasty, one will receive a huge reward. These words appeared in the minds of all the citizens of Dragon Phoenix City, and their faces were filled with determination. Gathering the hearts of the people. At this moment, the hearts of the people of the Dragon Phoenix Empire were 100% gathered. Under the protection of the powerful array formation, the Queen wasn't stingy with her rewards, and the entire Dragon Phoenix Empire was united. This time, if someone came to attack Dragon Phoenix City, millions of people would rush out to fight. The one who won the hearts of the people would rule the world. Even if this was a matter where the strong were respected, this sentence still worked. Thank you, Queen. In the future, I, Lu Qing, am willing to bleed all the blood for the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. At this time in the City Lord's mansion, a young man knelt there with a respectful face and vowed with a resolute gaze. I believe that, go infuse your bloodline into your body. The Dragon Phoenix dynasty will nurture you into a top-notch expert. Feng Yuan said faintly to the young man who was kneeling in front of her. It's the Queen. The young man left respectfully. His body was trembling slightly. Thank you, Wang Xian. I don't know how to repay such a valuable item. In the hall, Jin Ganyuan, Meng Hong, and the rest were sitting on both sides. Wang Xian was sitting below Feng Yuan. Beside him was Mao Zisen. Who are we? Don't be so calculative. I don't want to watch. When I'm already at the top of the supernatural continent, you're still working on a kingdom. Ah. Wang Xian laughed and said nonchalantly. Feng Yuan looked at him and smiled. She rolled her eyes at him and said, all right, then I won't stand on ceremony. Hee. Wang Xian smiled faintly. I'm really envious of you. I can help you take care of the matters of the Dragon Palace. Feng Yuan looked at him with slight envy. She looked at Jin Qianyuan and the rest and said, after this, the Dragon Phoenix City will be expanded rapidly. We will use the power that the entire Dragon Phoenix City can use. In addition, we will recruit city guards. It's the Queen. The group of people nodded respectfully and walked out. I don't know who young Master Wang is to be able to make the Queen so close to him. Moreover, that Wind-Eye illusion arrow is actually one of young Master Wang's subordinates. The Wind Howl Kingdom wanted to obtain the Wind-Eye illusion arrow's bloodline, which was why it broke apart. I didn't expect that Lord Wang would directly give it to the Queen. The 4 people walked out of the hall and said with a slight sigh. Jin Qianyuan in particular had a shocked expression on his face. He had given away the bloodline of a void interpretation level demon beast just like that, and the queen had even directly rewarded the Liu family. Such a large sum of money made even his eyes burn with passion. This made him even more determined to follow the queen. After the Star Moon Kingdom's invasion ended, the entire Dragon and Phoenix dynasty emitted a sense of vitality. Hundreds of thousands of people from the Dragon Phoenix dynasty began to expand the imperial city. According to the plan, the Dragon Phoenix city would be expanded at least tenfold. Moreover, this was only the first expansion. The Dragon Phoenix dynasty had completely stabilized, and the Dragon Palace was also developing rapidly. Aoqitian Aoqi, and the others led their subordinates to hunt fierce beasts in the surrounding waters. The corpses of fierce beasts turned into dragon blood. The strength of the members of the Dragon Palace was increasing every day. At this speed, it wouldn't be long before the entire Dragon Palace would be turned upside down. Chapter 1129. Chapter 1129, Floating Sea City. The spiritual energy in this Dragon Palace is even richer than some of the kingdom's paradises. I really don't understand why the difference between the Phoenix inheritance and yours is so great. Inside the Dragon Palace, Feng Yuan looked at the Dragon Palace that covered an area of 80 kilometers with a shocked expression. On Earth, the Dragon Palace only had an area of 20 kilometers. However, the size of the Dragon Palace here had increased by 4 times, and the spiritual energy had doubled. A Dragon Palace as vast as the bottom of the sea was miles away from the current Dragon Phoenix City. Feng Yuan, who had stayed in Dragon Phoenix City for more than 10 days, followed Wang Xian and the others to the Dragon Palace. She looked around in shock. Sister Feng Yuan can come to the Dragon Palace frequently in the future. She can even stay here. It's proven that it's so close to Dragon Phoenix City. It's only a 10-minute flight. Guan Shuqing and the rest said with smiles on their faces. The Dragon Phoenix City was not very far from the Dragon Palace. With Feng Yuan's speed, it would take less than 10 minutes. This is a good idea. Feng Yuan did not refuse and nodded with a smile. In the next few days, Feng Yuan spent most of her time in the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian was also dealing with the matters of the Dragon Palace. Speaking of which, there was nothing much to do. Prime Minister Gue could handle the development and planning of the Dragon Palace. The only thing that required him to handle personally was the Dragon Assassin Organization. Currently, the Dragon Assassin Organization was preparing to enter other cities. With the current strength of the Dragon Assassin Organization, more than 100 level 6 extraordinary light assassins could definitely assassinate a level 8 extraordinary powerhouse. In addition to the group of 20 level 7 extraordinary individuals, the Dragon Assassin Organization could completely cover the entire Star Moon Kingdom. The speed at which the Dragon Assassin Group earned resources couldn't be matched by all the members of the Dragon Palace combined. What? Feng Yuan, who was in the Dragon King Palace to check on the situation in Dragon Phoenix City, suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Her eyes were sparkling as she looked at the information she had brought this morning. Floating Sea City. A floating sea city actually appeared in the sea area next to Star Moon Kingdom. Feng Yuan's eyes flickered. She stood up slowly with a contemplative look on her face. Wang Xian, let me show you some information. She hesitated for a moment before walking over to Wang Xian, who was also reading the information. She passed the information in her hand to him. What? Wang Xian revealed a curious look on his face. He looked over and asked, Floating Sea City on the sea. What is this? He asked in surprise. It is similar to the floating island on your Earth. It is the private island of the strong. As the island is huge, it is also known as Floating Sea City. Feng Yuan explained to him. The private island of the strong. What is the information on it? Will there be treasures or inheritances left behind by the strong on this island? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan and asked her. It's possible. According to the information I got, there is a formation on this island. However, there is no one on it. It is an ownerless floating sea city. The appearance of this floating sea city has caused a huge commotion. Many forces are rushing there. To be able to possess an expert of the level of floating sea city, one must be at least at level 5 of the see-through realm or a powerful sect. Feng Yuan explained to Wang Xian. Do you want to go and take a look? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan. If you want to develop rapidly, you must have sufficient resources. If Dragon Phoenix City has the spiritual energy density of your Dragon Palace, how crazy would that be? Of course, it's impossible to have the spiritual energy of your Dragon Palace. However, you have to fight for some resources on your own. I have used up a lot of the information I have at the moment. Currently, the Dragon Phoenix Empire has not opened up any trade. It's all because I have taken out the resources. It won't last long. Feng Wan's eyes flickered. I want to go and take a look. You will go personally? Wang Xian looked at her in astonishment. Yes, the Dragon Phoenix Empire is stable now. I can go and take a look. Are you going? Feng Wan asked Wang Xian. Is it near Bright Moon City? Yes, I'll go there too. Wang Xian thought for a moment and nodded. The development of the Dragon Assassin organization was about to start in another city. Bright Moon City was the second largest city in Star Moon Kingdom. He could make arrangements for the Dragon Assassin organization this time. Alright, I'm only going to take a look this time. There might not be any gains. Feng Wan reminded Wang Xian. I'm going to deal with the Dragon Assassin organization. The matter in Floating Sea City is just a side issue. Wang Xian smiled. Feng Wan looked at him and shook her head speechlessly. Let's go. If there's nothing else, let's set off now. Feng Wan said to him. Sure. Wang Xian nodded his head and left with Feng Wan after talking to the girls. He didn't bring Shu Qing and the rest. They were a little weak and their operation this time might be dangerous. Wang Xian and the rest flew towards Bright Moon City with 40 strange demons. I hope we can get a good harvest. After the expansion of Dragon Phoenix City is completed, we can carry out the next step. Feng Wan was obviously in a good mood these few days. While flying in the air, she said with a smile on her face. Such a huge floating sea city has been discovered. By now, it should have been completely plundered, right? Wang Xian looked at her and asked. Don't worry. With the strength of Star Moon Kingdom, they don't have the ability to plunder the entire floating sea city. They might not even be able to enter now. Right now, the floating sea city has only revealed 1 foot. The rest of the places are still in the maze formation. Feng Wan said to him. That's good. I hope we can get a good harvest. Wang Xian nodded his head. Bright Moon City was very far away from Dragon and Phoenix City. It would take at least 2 days to fly at full speed. Bright Moon City was much bigger than East Sea City. Its overall strength was only below Star Moon City. Flying in the sky, Wang Xian could be considered to have seen the vast supernatural continent. There were all kinds of plants and creatures as well as all kinds of terrain. There were even trees that were thousands of meters tall. On the trees, there was a type of bird and beast whose strength had reached level 5 or 6 of the supernatural realm. In the wild, it was a paradise for ferocious beasts. They even saw a few groups of demon beasts. Wang Xian and the rest did not dare to make a move rashly. In Star Moon Kingdom, there were at most 20 human insightful emptiness realm experts. However, there were at least 40 to 50 or even more ferocious beasts in the wild that had reached the insightful emptiness realm. In the wild, if one were to kill wantonly, it would definitely attract the attention of powerful ferocious beasts and demon beasts. In the past 2 days people were out of town. Today the 3 chapters were all written in the hotel. There was only so much to write. There were still things to do. It felt like the quality of the writing had dropped a little. I'm sorry readers. There will be an update on the 23rd or 24th of this month. There will be 40 updates on the same day. When I'm done, I'll go back and save my manuscript. I'll update it at the end of the month. Chapter 1130. Chapter 1130, on the Undercurrent Assassin Organization. Where is that? Star Moon Kingdom was located at the seaside. Bright Moon City's terrain was somewhat similar to East Sea City. It was close to the vast ocean. However, when they flew over, they saw a shocking scene 2 to 3 kilometers into the ocean. In the ocean, there were at least tens of thousands of densely packed martial artists. Even at the edge of the city, there were tens of thousands of people standing there looking at the location of the ocean. Wang Xian looked over with a shocked expression on his face. In the ocean, there was a building that was 100 meters tall floating on the surface of the ocean. It was similar to a tower in the city. The entire body of the building was aqua blue and emitted a strong water elemental energy. The building that appeared out of thin air on the ocean naturally attracted everyone's attention. It's a formation. Moreover, it's a very powerful formation. One corner of the formation was destroyed, so it revealed a little of the situation inside. Feng Wan's eyes flickered as she stared at the location of the building. The two of them flew towards the seaside together. There are quite a number of experts? When Wang Xian and the rest approached the seaside, he swept his gaze across them and revealed a surprised expression. Around them there were 4 insightful emptiness realm experts, half-step insightful emptiness realm experts, and even transcendent level 9 experts. There were dozens of them in total. There are 13 insightful emptiness realm experts in the royal family of Star Moon Kingdom. There are 2 here. There is 1 insightful emptiness realm expert from Heavenly Moon Sect and 1 from the royal family of Fengshao Kingdom. Feng Wan's gaze swept across them and her voice rang in Wang Xian's ears. The people of the Fengshao Kingdom are here as well. Wang Xian revealed a hint of surprise. The Fengshao Kingdom is close to Star Moon Kingdom and is slightly stronger than Star Moon Kingdom. In the past, the Fengshao Kingdom was very strong. However, after the break with the Phoenix-eyed demonic beast clan, half of the insightful emptiness realm experts of the Fengshao Kingdom died in that huge battle. As Feng Wan spoke, she looked at Wang Xian who was beside her. Now the Feng-eyed clan was Wang Xian's subordinate, a member of the Dragon Palace and the former Feng-eyed clan. They had a good relationship with the Fengshao Kingdom. However, as the Fengshao Kingdom grew stronger at that time, they wanted the bloodline of the Feng-eyed clan's demon beast. As a result, a series of conflicts occurred. In the end, for some unknown reason, the Feng-eyed clan and the royal family of the Fengshao Kingdom had a huge battle. More than half of the Wind Howl Kingdom had lost their insightful emptiness realm experts. On the other hand, almost all of the Wind Eye clan's insightful emptiness realm experts had been wiped out. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. He didn't know much about the past of the Wind Eye clan. This formation is so powerful. Even the expert at level 3 of the insightful emptiness realm in the Wind Howl Kingdom was unable to open the formation. This is a combination formation. A combination formation at level 3 of the insightful emptiness realm. The formation covers an area of 10 kilometers around the entire island. To break it, 5 to 6 insightful emptiness realm experts must join forces. This formation is really impressive. I wonder who left this island or what faction it belongs to. I wonder how long this island has been drifting in the ocean. I heard that the royal family of Star Moon Kingdom will send another expert of the void interpretation stage today. If we wait any longer, more experts will come. In the surroundings, the martial artists were conversing softly. Wang Xian looked over. His eyes were flashing with a demonic luster. The outline of an island appeared in his line of sight. However, due to his low strength, even the light-dark fire dragon eyes could not see what was inside. However, with Wang Xian's Abhijna, the light-dark no formation, he could ignore the formation outside and enter directly. The group of strange demons could also follow him and enter directly. He didn't choose to enter rashly. It was a mysterious island. No one knew the situation inside. If there were void-seeing creatures inside, it would be suicide to enter. Can you break this formation? Wang Xian asked Feng Wan who was beside him. Yes, I can. However, when I break the formation, others will notice me. Moreover, once the formation is broken, others can enter as well. Feng Wan nodded her head with a contemplative look on her face. Judging from their looks, it will be difficult for them to break the formation within a short period of time. Let's go to Bright Moon City first. Wang Xian said to Feng Wan. She nodded her head and the two of them flew straight into Bright Moon City. When they arrived at Bright Moon City, they realized that the city was a little crowded. City guards were patrolling around vigilantly. It was obvious that the arrival of so many strong people had put a huge pressure on the security of Bright Moon City. Find a place to stay. We will stay in Bright Moon City for a few days. Wang Xian said to Feng Wan. He wanted to wait for the arrival of the Draconids before he started to set up the Dragon Assassin organization in Bright Moon City. Sure. Feng Wan nodded. She also knew the strength of the Dragon Assassin organization. This was a force that made her very envious. Once this assassin group was fully developed, the power of the Dragon Assassin group would be in existence that could shake the world. What a coincidence. Our restaurant only has one room left. Now, in the entire Bright Moon City, only the Western region's restaurant still has rooms. The other restaurants are all full. Entering a restaurant, the manager smiled at them and said, there was only one room in the Legends. A man and a woman living together in the same room. The truth was the same. Yes, cultivate in the room for the next few days. Feng Yuan said expressionlessly. With their cultivation level, cultivation could replace rest. Their bodies were free from dirt and didn't need to be cleaned. There was nothing inconvenient about it. All right, please come upstairs. The shopkeeper brought them to the third floor with a smile and opened a room for them. You have to settle your matters as soon as possible. She looked at Wang Xian and reminded him. Within 2 days I will command the Dragon Assassin organization to shake the entire Bright Moon City. Wang Xian said confidently. There are many strong people in Bright Moon City now. Be careful. Feng Yuan reminded him. Ao Yao, who was the strongest, was able to avoid the detection of a level 1 see-through void martial artist. However, a level 2 see-through void martial artist could already sense him. I know. Wang Xian nodded his head with a solemn expression. The good thing was that the 40 strange demons that he brought this time were the 40 strongest among the strange demons. 20 of them had the ability to assassinate a level 9 supernatural realm expert, while the other 20 had the ability to assassinate a level 8 supernatural realm expert. There was also Ao Yao. Young master, miss? Wang Xian ordered some food. Feng Yuan was constantly paying attention to the information in Bright Moon City. She held the communication stone plate and kept checking. Not long after, there was the sound of knocking on the door as well as some noisy conversations. What's wrong? Wang Xian opened the door and asked a waiter curiously. Behind the waiter stood 3 young men and a group of middle-aged men. I'm very sorry, sir. Our restaurant has to vacate the entire 3rd floor. The waiter at the door said to Wang Xian with a smile on his face. Chapter 1131. Chapter 1131. Undercurrent Assassin Organization. Vacate the entire 3rd floor? Where are we staying then? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows when he heard the waiter's words and asked directly. We will give you double the compensation. Young master, please find another room to stay in. The waiter replied with a smile. I don't need double the compensation. What? I have already stayed here for a night and now you want us to leave? At this moment, a furious voice came from the side. Wang Xian looked over and saw a burly middle-aged man staring at the waiter in front of him with bell-like eyes. The aura of an extraordinary level 6 was pressing down on him directly. If I tell you to scram, scram immediately. Don't bring trouble on yourself. Before the waiter could speak, 2 young men and a group of middle-aged men who were standing in the middle of the corridor looked over. A thin middle-aged man stared at him coldly. He looked extremely cold-blooded. The burly middle-aged man's face turned pale as he stared at them in fear. This is Bright Moon City. If you dare to make a move here. Scram. The burly middle-aged man's face turned ugly as he spoke. However, before he could finish, the skinny middle-aged man interrupted him, looking at him coldly. The skinny middle-aged man's eyes didn't have any emotion. The aura of a rank 7 transcendent enveloped the burly middle-aged man. A killing intent that could penetrate one's heart caused the burly middle-aged man's expression to change drastically. He staggered slightly. All right, we'll leave now. The burly middle-aged man's eyes were filled with fear. Such a bone-piercing killing intent was definitely not an ordinary martial artist. An ordinary martial artist's body had more killing intent, which was obviously different from killing intent. However, the thin middle-aged man in front of him had a dense killing intent, which was obviously condensed from killing many people. Hurry up and get out of the way. The 3 young men standing at the front revealed a faint mocking expression, and one of the young men directly shouted. When the young man finished speaking, the middle-aged men around him revealed a terrifying killing intent in their eyes. For a moment, the entire corridor of the 3rd floor was extremely cold. Hurry up and scram. When the 3 young men saw this scene, a faint smile appeared on their faces as they spoke arrogantly. When Wang Xian saw this scene, he raised his eyebrows. Young master. When the waiter saw Wang Xian's indifferent look, he frowned slightly and shouted. The rest of the people on the 3rd floor left. Only Wang Xian remained standing there without moving an inch. Everyone's gaze was directed at him. What's wrong? Feng Yuan's puzzled voice came from inside. It's nothing. A bunch of self-righteous fellows. Wang Xian said indifferently and closed the door. Kid, are you courting death? Everyone's expression changed slightly when they heard Wang Xian's words. The skinny middle-aged man looked at him. Scram. Wang Xian's expression turned cold instantly. The aura on his body trembled and a terrifying pressure was directed towards the group. A group of middle-aged men and 3 young men. The strongest one among them was only at level 8 of the extraordinary realm. How could they chase him and Feng Yuan away? The 3 young men and the group of young men felt the terrifying aura and their expressions changed slightly. Young master. The waiter standing in front of Wang Xian trembled and fell backward. His face was filled with fear. Don't disturb us. Wang Xian glanced at them with disdain and closed the door with a bang. This was the world of the strong. Even the owner of this restaurant could not chase people out casually. This was because offending a strong person would result in the retaliation of the strong person. This was especially so for a top-notch strong person like a transcendent level 9. Wang Xian's aura just now was that of a transcendent level 9. The 3 young men looked at the tightly shut door and their expressions changed drastically. Young masters, we. The waiter's face was extremely pale as he looked at the 3 young men. Young Master Ing, I can't let the city guards make a move in Bright Moon City. Furthermore, the other party. The young man standing on the left had a change in expression as he spoke to the young man in the middle with a dark expression. I know. Young Master Ing nodded with a dark expression as he looked at the tightly shut door. What an arrogant fellow. I'm warning you. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have the strength of a transcendent 9th rank. Don't think that you'll be safer in Bright Moon City either. Be careful. He said coldly to the door with a dark expression as he threatened. Haha, you're courting death. Don't come and disturb me. Otherwise you have to be careful too. Hearing the threatening voice from outside, the corners of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he replied sarcastically. All right. Just you wait. When young Master Ing heard Wang Xian's words from inside the room, his eyes were filled with killing intent. Following that, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he muttered sinisterly, You dare to say such words to me? Interesting. When the 2 young men beside him saw his expression, their hearts trembled slightly. The group of middle-aged men behind them looked at Wang Xian's room in unison. Go and investigate them. I want to see who gave him the right to be arrogant. Young Master Ing said to the skinny middle-aged man behind him in a deep voice. The skinny middle-aged man immediately nodded his head. This time, my father spent a huge amount of money to obtain a few Lingwu fruits and nurtured 2 subordinates who are at the half-step void interpretation level. It's just right for them to give it a try. Young Master Ing walked towards a room as he muttered to himself. A faint smile appeared on his face. That dragon spike has brought us great pressure. However, fortunately we have Sir here. This time we have added 2 half-step profound void martial stage powerhouses. In the future the world will still be ours. The young man on his right said with some flattery. Humph, dragon spike? If he dares to enter another city, then we will play with them. Young Master Ying's eyes were sparkling. But this time, my father has paid a huge price to obtain the Lingwu fruit. It's definitely worth it for the reward. The young man on the right said hurriedly. Young Master Ing smiled and looked at the room at the side again. I don't need to use my strongest strength to kill you. Many people have already forgotten that Undercurrent is the king of assassins in Starmoon Kingdom. Who are those people? In the room, Feng Yuan asked Wang Xian calmly. I don't know. No matter who he is, it's best that he doesn't provoke me in the next few days. Otherwise. Wang Xian smiled. Otherwise he would dare to kill him even if he was the prince of Starmoon Kingdom. Then he announced the arrival of the Dragon Assassin organization. Time passed slowly and the moon gradually rose. Bright Moon City was still bustling with activity at night. The appearance of Floating Sea City caused many mercenary groups and powerful families to rush over. At the seashore outside the city, Starmoon Kingdom sent a team of over 1,000 experts to stand guard there, waiting for the formation to be activated. Clap clap. Around midnight, Feng Yuan sat cross-legged on the bed to cultivate while Wang Xian sat cross-legged below. The faint sound of water could be heard suddenly. Chapter 1132. Chapter 1132, Floating Sea City was opened. Feng Yuan and Wang Xian, who were cultivating, opened their eyes and looked at the door. A pool of liquid was slowly flowing into the room. Feng Yuan looked at Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head slowly and a name appeared in his mind. Undercurrent. Undercurrent Assassin Organization. It's actually an extraordinary level 9 assassin. When Shui Lu entered the room, Wang Xian revealed a look of astonishment. According to the rumors, the Undercurrent Assassin organization could only assassinate people at level 9 of the supernatural realm. Now they were sending top-notch assassins to kill him. His eyes flickered slightly as he looked to his left and right. At this moment, in the room on the left, a young man was sitting cross-legged on the bed. Beside him was a devilish blue mask. He was looking over with a smile on his face. It seems like this guy is part of the Undercurrent Assassin organization. Furthermore, it is very likely that he is the descendant of the Master of Undercurrent. Wang Xian looked over and was deep in thought. He sat cross-legged and did not move. Feng Yuan also slowly closed her eyes and ignored him. Feng Yuan did not think much of an extraordinary level 9 assassin. Moreover, the first target of this assassin was Wang Xian. An assassin who dared to assassinate me? Wang Xian was slightly mocking. He felt an energy attacking him. The terrifying penetrating force was so strong that even if he was hit, he would still be injured. However, when the assassin with his calm eyes came to Wang Xian's surroundings, an invisible dagger attacked him instantly. The sound of penetration was heard, but the killer revealed a look of despair. He looked at his chest in disbelief. A ball of dark energy blocked his mouth and he couldn't make any sound. Undercurrent Assassin Organization. Wang Xian looked at the killer who was in disbelief. A faint smile appeared on his face. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, a terrifying trembling sound was heard, causing Wang Xian to be slightly stunned. Feng Yuan immediately stood up and looked at Wang Xian. The sound from Floating Sea City should be the sound of void interpretation experts breaking the formation forcefully. There are at least 3 to 4 second level void interpretation experts. Let's go. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and said directly. Feng Yuan nodded. Without any hesitation, she opened the window and jumped out. I'll let you live a little longer. Wang Xian looked at the room next to him and quickly flew toward the Floating Sea City. What's going on? It's the sound from the Floating Sea City. Someone is breaking the formation. Let's go quickly. If we can enter, there might be the inheritance of a void interpretation stage expert. It might even be the lair of a demonic beast race. At dawn, the terrifying attack that came from the seashore caused the entire Bright Moon City to tremble. Some of the martial artists hurriedly flew towards the seashore. At this moment, no one cared about the rules that forbade flying in the city. It's an expert from the royal family of Starmoon Kingdom. Starmoon Dove, it's a demonic beast. Starmoon Dove, the guardian demonic beast of the royal family of Starmoon Kingdom. Wang Xian and Feng Yuan quickly flew towards Floating Sea City. Cries of surprise could be heard from the surroundings. In the sky, 2 Starmoon doves, which were about 10 meters in size, flapped their wings. They were exceptionally eye-catching in the sky. Half-step void interpretation demonic beast, Starmoon Dove. On top of the Starmoon Dove stood a group of people. On top of the Starmoon Dove stood 4 void interpretation experts, including the City Lord of Bright Moon City. The Starmoon Dynasty sent 4 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. In addition to the 4 from the Starmoon Dynasty, an elder from the Heavenly Moon Sect was also close to the 4 from the Starmoon Kingdom. In addition, the Wind Howl Kingdom had 1 level 3 Insightful Emptiness Realm expert and 1 level 2 Insightful Emptiness Realm expert. At this moment, this group of Insightful Emptiness Realm experts were working together to attack the array formation. Breaking the array formation with force. At the back, there were at least 10,000 warriors, including half-step Insightful Emptiness Realm experts and level 9 Transcendence. There were quite a number of such rare experts. At most, we will have to attack more than 10 times before the formation will be broken. Feng Yuan watched as more and more buildings appeared. Her gaze was slightly focused. They are obviously united. In a while, without a team of void interpretation powerhouses, it will be impossible to enter. Wang Xian glanced at Feng Yuan and said softly. No, everyone can enter. The outermost part of this Floating Sea City is an illusion formation. Below the illusion formation is a killing formation. This Floating Sea City is not that simple. There will be dangers inside. Feng Yuan's eyes sparkled. Are you saying that we need someone to scout the way? Wang Xian looked at her. Yes, the killing formation inside is not complete. Clearly, there are a lot of problems due to the long duration. However, the more it is like this, the more it will reflect the danger of the floating sea city. It might even threaten the life of an insightful emptiness realm expert. Feng Yuan nodded her head. There's no need to rush. We can just follow the crowd in. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head. His divine ability, the light and darkness formation, could ignore the formation. However, this did not mean that he could ignore the elemental attacks of the formation. However, he would not activate the formation. Without anyone controlling it, even if he were to barge in, he would not be in any danger. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying attacks landed on the formation one after another, causing everyone around to reveal horrified expressions. This time, the kingdom of Howling Wind has really crossed the line. On the body of a star moon dove, a young man dressed in yellow clothes with his head slightly raised looked at the group of experts at the profound void tier and frowned slightly. Third Prince, the kingdom of Howling Wind has been getting restless in recent years, and their hands have been stretched out very long. An elder beside him said respectfully. Humph, now that Father's strength has broken through, he really thinks that we, Starry Moon, are afraid of them. The young man snorted coldly. Standing on the body of a half-step void interpretation demonic beast, he looked down at everyone below, the corners of his mouth slightly mocking. A bunch of chess pieces. He said indifferently, his gaze turning towards the huge floating sea city that was gradually exposed, his eyes burning with passion. This should be the 100-beast city of that beast tamer from 300 years ago. If I can obtain the inheritance of the 100 patrol beast tamer senior. As he spoke, his eyes burned with passion. Boom. At this moment, a loud explosion sounded from the front. Everyone looked over, their eyes filled with excitement. The sky started to shatter like glass. Everyone's eyes widened as they stared intently inside. What is this? What dense spiritual energy? The spiritual energy here is almost double that of the outside world. 100 Beast City, look at that huge inscription over there. Tens of thousands of people in the surroundings looked over and shouted in shock. Charge will charge over immediately. The first one to charge over will definitely reap more rewards. Isn't 100 Beast City the lair of the 100 Patrol Beast Tamer who is a 6th level profound void martial artist? Could it be? When the formation was completely broken, a primitive floating sea city with a circumference of 10 kilometers appeared in their sight. Chapter 1133. Chapter 1133, 100 Patrol Elders. The formation was broken. When everyone looked at the floating sea city that was gradually becoming clearer, their faces were filled with shock. An island that looked like a city appeared in everyone's sight. However, this city was not like the humans. Instead, it was built with many nests. All kinds of nests were strangely shaped, causing the entire island to look extremely strange. At the edge of floating sea city, there was a huge inscription. On it were 3 powerful words, 100 Beast City. Around these 3 words, there was a pattern of all kinds of demonic beasts. When the array was broken, everyone around had excited expressions on their faces. All of them looked into floating sea city with fervent gazes. It's the 100 Patrol Beast Tamer, the 100 Patrol Elder, who once shook the entire flowing sea region. Oh my god, this is his 100 Beast City. Rumor has it that the 100 Beast City is extremely mysterious. There was once a dynasty that offended the 100 Patrol Elder. In the end, the 100 Patrol Elder led his ferocious beast army to attack that dynasty's imperial city and destroyed it in one night. How terrifying. When everyone looked at the 100 Beast City, some of them immediately recognized the origins of the 100 Beast City. The 100 Patrol Elder was a Grandmaster Beast Tamer. Beast tamers, alchemists, and weapon refiners were all relatively special professions, especially beast tamers. Beast tamers learned from demonic beasts. Demonic beasts could control fierce beasts through their bloodlines, and some of the human experts had studied and learned this technique. However, beast tamers had a huge restriction, and that was that one had to have high-level demonic beasts and fierce beast bloodlines. However, the Baisun Elder was a legendary figure, which was why he was passed down in the area of the Flowing Sea. One had to know that the Flowing Sea area contained more than 20 countries, with a population of over 10 billion people. The Baisun Elder only possessed the bloodline of a half-step void interpretation level demon beast. However, he used his unique beast taming technique to allow himself and a 6th level void interpretation tarsal bone demon beast to enter his body. Tarsal bone demon beast, as its name implied, was a special demon beast. This demon beast could enter the body of other creatures. It could bestow power to the person being possessed, and it could also make the person die quickly. Old Man Bai Sun completely controlled this rank 6 void interpretation tarsal bone demon beast, so his strength was comparable to a rank 6 void interpretation level demon beast. No one knew the process, but Old Man Bai Sun's strength and reputation were known by everyone in the entire Flowing Sea region. He was once the strongest person in the Flowing Sea region, an existence that could destroy an entire country with just one person. Charge, hurry up and enter. Haha, the 100 Beast City of the 100 Patrol Master. If I can obtain the tarsal bone demonic beast, then I will be able to ascend to the heavens in one step. Enter, we must enter. In the surroundings, tens of thousands of martial artists flew towards the 100 Beast City with excited faces. In the sky, 7 profound void martial artists floated in the air, their eyes flickering as they stared at the 100 Beast City. They were not the first to enter. 100 Beast City. I didn't expect it to be the 100 Beast City of the 100 Patrol Master. However, the 100 Beast City before us is only 10 kilometers in radius. It seems like this is only a part of the 100 Beast City of the 100 Patrol Master. An old man from the Star Moon Kingdom dressed in a python robe looked down as he muttered. It is rumored that 300 years ago, the 100 Patrol Master offended a kingdom in the vast sea region, causing the tarsal bone demonic beast to be heavily injured. Since then, the 100 Patrol Master has disappeared from everyone's sight. Could this place be? An old man holding a staff beside the old man in the python robe said softly. This matter concerns the 100 Patrol Master. This 100 Beast City is definitely not simple. You must know that the 100 Patrol Master once controlled more than a dozen void interpretation level demon beasts. He even had a 5th level void interpretation level demon beast. The few void interpretation level experts had solemn expressions. This matter concerned a peak level void interpretation level 6th level expert. They could not afford to be careless. In the sky, the 7 insightful emptiness realm experts looked at each other, but they did not make a move. They needed the group of people below to scout the way. If there was danger, they could also respond. Among the surrounding 10,000 experts, 50% of them hesitated for a moment before flying directly into the 100 Beast City. The things left behind by a top-tier expert in the Flowing Sea region, even if they only obtained a little, were enough for them to go all out. As martial artists who frequently dealt with life and death situations, their courage was unimaginable. One by one, the martial artists sized up the 100 Beast City warily and landed in different places. Let's go, we'll go as well. Wang Xian's pair of dark fire dragon eyes swept across the 100 Beast City. He looked at Feng Yuan and said directly. All right. Feng Yuan nodded her head. Even if she didn't have powerful ocular skills with her past experience, she wasn't someone that could be compared to an insightful emptiness realm expert. At this moment, the two of them were wearing a black mask. A shadow mask, a void interpretation level concealment mask. After wearing the mask, one would be able to conceal one's figure, and outsiders would not be able to see clearly whether it was a man or a woman. The two of them moved, blending in with the tens of thousands of people, and flew directly towards the 100 Beast City. In the sky, the 7 void interpretation experts still did not move. Standing on the Star Moon Dove, the third prince watched as the group of people swarmed towards the 100 Beast City, and a faint smile appeared on his face. Let's go, we'll go too. With that said, the third prince's body moved, and he directly flew towards the location below. Yes. The 2 old men and 4 middle-aged men beside him immediately followed behind. Let's go in. We can't be the first to enter, but we can't fall behind either. Some clans with transcendent Tier 9 experts also began to move at this moment. Each of these nests has an array formation. Moreover, the level of the array formation is not low. The owner of the 100 Beast City is really powerful. When he landed at the edge of the 100 Beast City, Wang Xian looked at the nests in front of him with a shocked expression on his face. Each of the nests had an array formation covering them. How big of an effort was this? According to what I heard from the surroundings, if this old man Bai Sun possesses the strength of a level 6 void interpretation expert, it wouldn't be difficult for him to build a 100 Beast City. Feng Yuan sized up the surroundings. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. It was indeed the case. A level 6 see-through cultivator could definitely build a dynasty. The wealth of such a powerhouse was far beyond the imagination of others. Roar. Ah. At this moment, the sound of a beast's roar was suddenly heard along with a scream. Wang Xian turned around and saw a level 7 supernatural beast rushing out from a nest. Its eyes were bloodshot as it attacked the group of people in front of it in a frenzy. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and sized up the surrounding nests. There were at least tens of thousands of nests in the entire 100-beast city. Some of the nests had ferocious beasts in them. These ferocious beasts were sleeping in their nests. The operation of the formation maintained their vitality. And just rushed out of the fierce beasts, the formation was destroyed, fierce directly mad. Chapter 1134. Chapter 1134. Ferocious Beast Pet Egg. Kill this ferocious beast, hurry up, hurry up. Angry voices came from afar as the group attacked the transcendent level 7 ferocious beast. There might be ferocious beasts in the nest. The weakest one should be at transcendent level 7. Everyone be careful. Don't open the array formation and see if there are any spiritual herbs. Some of the weaker ones looked over and warned loudly in fear. Any random array formation would be a transcendent 7th rank. Among the 10,000 people present, there weren't many that could be dealt with. Haha, pet egg, the pet egg of a transcendent 7th rank ferocious beast. We're rich. However, at this moment, an excited roar suddenly sounded, causing everyone in 100 Beast City to be slightly stunned. What? A pet egg? There's a pet egg in the nest? A pet egg, a transcendent 7th grade pet egg. This is worth 10 million middle grade spirit stones, oh my god. The news of a pet egg in the nest caused everyone to go crazy. Everyone knew the value of a pet egg. Even a transcendent 7th grade pet egg was worth tens of millions of middle grade spirit stones. Tens of millions of mid-grade spirit stones was a huge amount of money to a powerful family. To those mercenary groups, it was even more precious. Break the nest's array formation, everyone get ready. Anyone who wants to join forces, let's open the array formation together and request for a 7th rank transcendent expert. The eyes of the martial artists began to heat up. Everyone looked at the surrounding nests, their eyes filled with greed. Pet egg. Feng Wan's eyes flickered when she heard the voices of the people around her. The value of a pet egg was also of great use to her. A pet egg. Wang Xian revealed a smile as he scanned his surroundings. At this moment, a group of people in front were trying to crack the array formation. The level of the array formation of the ferocious beast nest was not very high, and it was not a defensive or protective array formation. Therefore it was not difficult to crack it. However, no one knew whether the interior of the lair was a violent ferocious beast or a pet egg. The probability of a violent ferocious beast was higher. Can you investigate the situation inside? Wang Xian looked at Feng Wan and asked her directly. No, but even if it's a ferocious beast in the lair, it's easy to deal with it. A faint smile appeared on Feng Wan's face. Should we split up? Wang Xian looked at her and said with a smile. Alright, you won't get anything by my side either. Feng Wan said confidently. Her strength had already reached level 1 of the see-through realm. Furthermore, with her experience she could fight against a powerhouse at level 2 of the see-through realm. Even a powerhouse at level 3 of the see-through realm would find it difficult to kill her. If she wanted to break the formation of the surrounding lairs, it would be a piece of cake. Even if there were ferocious beasts inside, she could easily kill them. She also knew Wang Xian's strength. He had yet to reach the see-through realm. There was a huge gap between him and her if he had yet to reach the see-through realm. All right. Wang Xian smiled faintly. After shrugging his shoulders, he walked to the side. Feng Wan smiled and walked in the opposite direction. Hee, this place is a treasure trove to me. Wang Xian's eyes flashed with a demonic glow. His body moved and he floated in the air for 10 meters. His demonic eyes scanned through the nests. Some of the nests were made of wood and some were made of stone. The bigger ones were more than 10 meters in size while the smaller ones were 3 to 4 meters in size. Before the formation was broken, the ferocious beasts inside could not be seen at all. They could only rely on their own luck. However, this was only for others. The level of the formation was not high. Wang Xian's light dark fire dragon eyes could completely penetrate it. He looked at the 7 insightful emptiness realm experts in the sky outside. At this moment, the 7 of them were frowning as they looked down. Clearly the pet eggs were quite attractive to them. However, their attention was placed at the center of the hall. There was a majestic hall. The corner that was exposed not too long ago was a corner of the hall. This hall was extremely fast. It was different from the ordinary human halls. The hall there was more like a huge nest. Ao Yao, be careful. Stay away from those insightful emptiness realm experts. Wang Xian retracted his gaze and his voice was transmitted into the minds of the surrounding strange demons. It's the Dragon King. The group of strange demons immediately responded. There's a pet egg in that black wooden nest. There's one in the white jade nest as well. There's a pet egg 300 meters ahead. There's one in the nest that the 20 people on the right are preparing to break open. As Wang Xian spoke, the corner of his mouth curled up slightly. He had seen all the lairs within a radius of 1,000 meters. Ao Yao and the rest immediately accepted the order. They entered the lairs silently. That's right, they entered directly. The Light Thorn's ability had no formation, could ignore the formation. The group of strange demon gods entered without anyone noticing. They easily took out the pet eggs one by one. The formation was not damaged and there were no fluctuations. 14. The harvest is not bad. Wang Xian moved his body and immediately flew to another location at a rapid speed. More than 10,000 people entered the 100-beast city, causing the surroundings to be filled with people. Wang Xian flew in the sky and did not stand out at all. After flying for 1,000 meters to the left at a rapid speed, Wang Xian's dragon eyes of light and dark fire scanned his surroundings again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wang Xian scanned all the places and transmitted his voice to Ao Yao and the rest. His speed was so fast that it could almost be described as sweeping. One by one the pet eggs were easily discovered. Then they quickly shifted their positions. The 100-beast city was only a radius of 10 kilometers. With his speed, Wang Xian had already swept around 5 kilometers in a short 5 minutes. Fusuke, I've broken through more than 10 nests, but I didn't find any pet eggs. Yeah, my luck is really bad. Come, let's go to the central area to take a look. Wang Xian was floating in the sky. A level 9 supernatural realm expert and his subordinates around him roared with an embarrassed look on their faces. Roar, roar. At this moment, an even more majestic beast roar was heard. Everyone looked over at the same time. It's near the central area. This roar is at least at transcendent level 9. Someone is near the central area. Should we go and fight? The beasts inside the nest are no longer something we can deal with. Compared to the outside, there are more than 1,000 nests inside. It's very likely that they are all at transcendent level 9 or higher. However, if we can get a transcendent level 9 pet egg, we will be rich. Many people looked forward. There was fear and desire on their faces. Danger and opportunity coexisted. Wang Xian's figure moved. Without any hesitation, he flew straight towards the center. The powerhouses who were at half-step void interpretation also gave up on the lairs outside and rushed forward. Chapter 1135. Chapter 1135. Pups of the Void Interpretation Demonic Beast. Transcendent Level 8, Transcendent Level 9, Half-Step Void Interpretation. When Wang Xian walked forward, his gaze swept across the lair in front of him. When he saw the level of the ferocious beasts inside, his face revealed a look of surprise. This was not the most central location. The most central location was the main hall. On the left and right of the main hall, there were 2 lion-shaped lairs. The 2 lairs were 20 meters in size and were golden in color. Compared to the other lairs, they looked extremely majestic. That was the most central area in the entire beast city. Wang Xian had a hunch that there were at least void interpretation level ferocious beasts inside. Let's get the pet eggs here first. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he started to scan his surroundings. There were only over 1,000 lairs in this area. The formations in the lairs were more powerful. It was slightly strenuous for Wang Xian to use his light and dark fire dragon eyes to check. Fortunately, these formations were only at transcendent level 7 or so. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, Wang Xian felt a powerful aura flying towards him. He turned his head and saw a young man in a yellow robe flying towards him with his subordinates. The young man scanned his surroundings coldly. His gaze landed on Wang Xian before he turned to the side. Level 8 of Transcendence, 2 half-step void interpretation and 4 level 9 of Transcendence. This young man's identity is not simple. Wang Xian took a look and thought to himself. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, an even faster and more terrifying aura descended, causing Wang Xian's expression to change slightly. Not good, the void interpretation experts are here. Wang Xian looked over and saw 7 void interpretation experts flying over. It seems that the void interpretation experts could no longer sit still after realizing that there was no danger. Wang Xian thought to himself. Even Feng Yuan thought that there would be danger here. However, after such a long time, there wouldn't be any danger unless they broke the formation of the lair. Facing the pet eggs one by one, they immediately took action. Quick, quick. Wang Xian turned his gaze to the side. His eyes flickered with a demonic luster as he looked into the lairs one by one. Ao Yao, tell him to stay away from the insightful emptiness realm experts. He must not be discovered. Wang Xian said hurriedly. With a move of his body, he flew into one of the nests. Under the circumstances where no one was paying attention to him, he entered the nest directly and put the pet eggs into the storage spirit bag. As the pet eggs were alive, the interspatial ring could not store pet eggs. A small pet egg was about half a meter in size and was very eye-catching. However, Wang Xian, who possessed the storage spirit bag, did not have such concerns. When Wang Xian came out of the nest, the yellow-robed young man frowned slightly and looked in his direction. Wang Xian sensed his gaze and stood there without moving. He scanned his surroundings and ordered the Ao Yao to enter the nest. Everyone evacuate from here. Otherwise die. At this moment, a terrifying aura came directly towards them, causing Wang Xian's expression to change drastically. The transcendent level 9 and half-step void interpretation experts who had rushed over also had a slight change in expression. Only the young man in yellow robes and the other experts who were dressed in the Sky Moon sect's attire remained unperturbed. Everyone's faces revealed a trace of bitterness when they saw the cold and murderous gazes of the 7 insightful void martial experts. These 7 insightful void martial experts clearly wanted to monopolize this area and prohibit anyone from entering. Scram. The 2 insightful void martial experts from the Howling Wind Kingdom saw that they had yet to leave. They slightly raised their brows and roared in a low voice. A terrifying aura swept down like a tornado. Cold sweat broke out on the foreheads of everyone who entered this area, and they retreated in fear. Who is it? It's disturbing our master's slumber. However, suddenly a muffled voice sounded. This voice caused everyone's hair to stand on end, and their pupils constricted slightly as they looked towards the Great Hall 1,000 meters away. Ka. On the left and right side of the Great Hall, there were 2 enormous metal lions. At this moment, the eyes of these 2 lions actually slowly opened, and they looked towards the 7 insightful emptiness realm experts in the sky without the slightest reaction. What? When the surrounding people saw the 2 golden lions that were 20 meters in size 1,000 meters away, their faces revealed a stunned expression. Everyone thought that the 2 golden lions were a nest. That was because they could not see any signs of life on the golden lions. Their mouths were wide open on the ground and there was a deep hole. Everyone thought that this was a nest of ferocious beasts. Even Wang Xian thought so. However, he did not expect that this was a void interpretation level ferocious beast that possessed life. Moreover, these 2 beasts could even speak human language. It's a burst-mouthed golden lion. It's actually a burst-mouthed golden lion. Moreover, it was trained by the 100 patrol elders to be able to speak human language. Oh my god. A half-step void interpretation expert revealed a shocked expression. Burst-mouthed golden lion was a metal-type beast. Its strength was incomparably terrifying. And these 2 burst-mouthed golden lions did not seem to have any life force on their bodies. One could not tell the depth of their strength. Hiss, not good, our aura has disturbed them. The Heavenly Moon sect's insightful emptiness realm expert's expression changed slightly, and he stared at the 2 20-meter large golden lions with a grave expression. The Howling Wind Kingdom's insightful emptiness realm level 3 expert also slightly frowned. You dare disturb Master's slumber, you deserve to die. Ka. The 2 golden lions slowly stood up, their bodies emitting mechanical sounds, and the coldness in their eyes slowly turned into savagery. Not good, their strength is at the 3rd level of the Profound Void tier. 2/3 level of the Profound Void tier were in big trouble. No, the aura on their bodies is a little weak, perhaps it's because they haven't eaten for a long time. The 7 Profound Void tier experts in the sky revealed an embarrassed expression. Looking at the golden lions that were gradually becoming savagery, they held the weapons in their hands with vigilance. Clang clang clang. At this time, the two explosive golden lions suddenly raised their heads. Their mouths that were 7 to 8 meters in size slowly revealed their golden teeth. Two huge fangs that were 10 meters long extended out, looking incomparably violent. Bang! A terrifying aura was emitted from their bodies. They bent down and directly slashed towards the 7 profound void martial experts in the sky. The expressions of the 7 profound void martial artists changed drastically. Their bodies are weak. Let's kill them first. An expert from Starmoon Kingdom shouted loudly. Kill? The 7 people did not hesitate in the slightest as they directly charged towards the 2 explosive golden lions. What a good opportunity. The 9 profound void martial experts launched a great battle in the sky, causing the expressions of the people below to reveal excitement. Earlier, the 7 insightful void tier experts had wanted to chase them out, but now that the insightful void tier experts were being held back by 2 ferocious beasts, it was actually an opportunity for them. As for the group of martial artists at the edge of the 100 Beast City, when they saw the might of the insightful void tier experts, their expressions changed drastically, but they still gritted their teeth and continued to break through the array to search for the pet eggs. Ka ka ka. However, at this moment, something that no one had expected happened. Chapter 1136. Chapter 1136 was the cub of the void interpretation demonic beast. Crack crack crack. Roar roar roar. The entire 100 Beast City, along with the roars of the 2 golden lions, underwent a terrifying transformation. All the nests and ferocious beasts were directly awakened. One nest after another trembled slightly, and the array formation shattered like a mirror. This scene caused all the martial artists in the 100 Beast City to be stunned. Especially those who were preparing to break the array formation. When they saw that the array formation was broken and the roars of fierce beasts came from inside, their faces showed fear. Roar, roar, roar. At this moment, the entire 100 Beast City suddenly emitted a terrifying roar. One fierce beast after another rushed out of their lairs with blood-red eyes. They looked at the surrounding humans and pounced on them as if they were bloodthirsty. Not good, all the arrays have been broken. All the ferocious beasts have come out. Oh my god, run run. In an instant, the faces of everyone in the surroundings were filled with terror. There were over 10,000 ferocious beast lairs in the entire 100 Beast City. In each of the lairs, the weakest ferocious beast was at the 7th rank of the extraordinary realm. And in this group of them, in the span of half an hour, they had only opened over 1,000 lairs. There were still many lairs that they had yet to open. However, when all the ferocious beasts in the lairs came out, it was no less than a huge disaster for them. Everyone had a look of fear on their faces. Without any hesitation, they fled into the distance. Wang Xian, who was close to the central area, was also slightly stunned. He raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw the ferocious beasts that were emitting a terrifying aura coming out of the lairs. Around him, the weakest among the huge nests was at level 8 of the supernatural realm. The strong ones were able to reach half-step void interpretation realm. However, this is also a good opportunity to fish in troubled waters. A faint smile appeared on Wang Xian's face. He quickly scanned his surroundings. This was because at this moment, there was no need for him to use his light and dark fire dragon eyes to check. There must be pet eggs before he could rush out of the nest of the ferocious beasts. All deviant demons, make your move. Since the void interpretation experts in the sky were restricted, Wang Xian did not hesitate to let the deviant demons and the rest make their move. Under this chaotic environment, the 40 deviant demons were like fish in the water. Wang Xian looked at a sealed lair and rushed towards it. But the spell-free divine ability allowed him to enter directly. When he saw the 2-meter-sized pet egg, he revealed an excited expression. Half-step void interpretation. The half-step void interpretation pet egg that Feng Luan had auctioned previously was worth billions of middle-grade spirit stones. After keeping it in his spirit pouch, Wang Xian immediately rushed out. Who is it? However, the moment Wang Xian came out, a cold voice was heard. A few pairs of eyes were staring at him. Wang Xian looked over and raised his eyebrows slightly. He immediately rushed to another place. This guy. The third prince, who was dressed in a yellow robe, frowned as he stared at Wang Xian's figure. His eyes flickered as he looked at the formation behind him that was still unbroken. That mysterious person's strength is not weaker than a transcendent level 9. He should have some special treasures on him that can enter the lair directly. An elder beside him said to Wang Xian in a deep voice. Ichimim, pay attention to that kid. We should take this opportunity to look for the pet egg. The third prince nodded. The surrounding ferocious beasts did not pose much of a threat to them. The strength beside him was sufficient to deal with these ferocious beasts. Boom, boom. The two old men beside him waved their arms. Their attacks landed on the ferocious beasts that were attacking him and killed them immediately. Their target was also the surrounding ferocious beasts that didn't charge out of their nests. Many people around them had noticed this. However, with their strength, they couldn't escape in time when facing the thousands of top-notch ferocious beasts around them. Compared to the rest, the strange demons entered the nests one by one and easily took out the pet eggs and handed them to Wang Xian. Wang Xian revealed a big smile. Take them for me. I'm going in. At this moment, Feng Wan's voice rang in his ears. Following that, he saw 6 pet eggs being thrown in front of him. 4 of them were at Transcendent Level 7, 1 of them was at Transcendent Level 8, and 1 of them was at Transcendent Level 9. Wang Xian quickly looked over and saw Feng Wan flying directly towards the central hall. Tiske Feng Wan, this is the real fish in troubled waters. Wang Xian chuckled and placed the pet egg into his storage spirit bag. Then he looked towards the front once again. At the back, all the nests had been searched by the strange demon and the rest. Only the dozens of nests at the front had not been checked. Wang Xian moved his body and flew directly towards the location closest to the central hall. There's one. When Wang Xian saw the dozens of nests at the front, he was pleasantly surprised. He moved his body and flew over. Get lost. At this moment, a cold shout came from behind. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and frowned slightly. However, he ignored it and flew straight towards the nest. Crack, crack. However, just as Wang Xian flew to the front of the nest, the formation of the nest in front of him suddenly broke apart. He frowned slightly and a demonic glow flashed in his eyes. Just as Wang Xian was about to check out what kind of ferocious beast was inside, a small head popped out. It was only the size of a fist. One of its blue and one of its red eyes looked at Wang Xian curiously. Meow. It opened its mouth and meowed. Its body twisted slightly as it emerged from the formation. It had a red and blue glow and looked extremely exquisite. What was even stranger was that it had 2 tails. The red tail and the blue tail looked very cute. Ice Fire Civet Cat, it's an Ice Fire Civet Cat. Suddenly, an excited voice sounded from behind. Wang Xian sensed a pair of fiery eyes looking in his direction. Ice Fire Civet Cat, a rare demonic beast cub, a rare dual attribute demonic beast. The exact strength of its bloodline is unknown. However, the strongest Ice Fire Civet Cat has reached the terrifying 5th level of the Void Interpretation realm. I must get it, I must get it. A low roar of intense desire was heard. However, at this moment Wang Xian's body started to move. Without any hesitation, he directly grabbed at the Ice Fire Civet Cat. Meow. When the Ice Fire Civet Cat saw Wang Xian pouncing towards it, it actually pounced towards him. Wang Xian was slightly delighted. A smile appeared on his face as he grabbed the Ice Fire Civet Cat and flew into the distance. Stop right there. Hand it over to me. Quick, hand it over to me. From behind, the third prince was flustered and exasperated as he roared with all his might. Chase after him. You must catch up to him. You must get the Ice Fire Civet Cat. The third prince shouted at Wang Xian with bloodshot eyes. He must get the Fire and Ice Civet Cat cub. Once he got it, the throne of Star Moon Kingdom would be his in the future. Chapter 1137. Chapter 1137, Feud. In Star Moon Kingdom, the current king was a peak existence at the 4th level of the Void Interpretation realm. A Void Interpretation expert possessed a lifespan of 1,000 years. As a king, he could have several hundred descendants. The third prince was only one of them. He had over 100 brothers and sisters. Although their father was young now, all the princes had to think about their future. The third prince's current extraordinary 8th rank cultivation was not bad among the princes, but he was still far from inheriting the throne. At the very least, he had to break through to the profound void tier before he had the right to inherit the throne. However, to become a profound void tier powerhouse, even if he was a prince, it would be very difficult. He might not even be able to advance to the profound void tier in his entire life. He was not confident, but if he could obtain the Frost Fire Civet Cat's cub, he would be able to ascend to the heavens in a single step. In history, the strongest Frost Fire Civet Cat had reached the 5th level of the Void Interpretation realm. Its strength at the 5th level was already higher than his father's. If he obtained the Frost Fire Civet Cat, then in the future, even if he had not reached the Void Interpretation realm, the throne of Star Moon Kingdom would still belong to him. No one had the ability to compete with him. This was also the instant he saw the Ice Fire Civet Cat, the roar of desire and loss of self-control. Ice Fire Civet Cat. The two elders next to the third prince were slightly stunned, and then their eyes revealed a fiery expression. They naturally knew about the Ice Fire Civet Cat, and they also knew what the Ice Fire Civet Cat was surprised by for their third prince. Originally, the third prince was one of the advantageous competitors for the throne. They were willing to follow the third prince because they hoped that he could inherit the throne. But now, as long as the third prince obtained the Ice Fire Civet Cat, he would be able to obtain the throne with 100% certainty. This was extremely important to them. Hand over the demon beast cub in your hands. Otherwise, you can forget about escaping even if you go to the heavens or the earth. The two old men roared coldly. Their bodies moved and they chased after them at a terrifying speed. The third prince's eyes were also burning with excitement. Fuck, they are still chasing after us. Since I have taken it away, why would I let you guys take it back? Wang Xian looked at the group of people who were chasing after him at a fast speed. A hint of coldness appeared on his face. He sped up and ran straight towards the beach. Fire pattern roar. Arcane art traction. At this moment, two cold voices came from behind him. Wang Xian instantly felt two terrifying attacks coming towards him. Fire patterns that were like fire snakes interweaved in the sky and attacked Wang Xian rapidly. Under the ground, thorns emerged from the ground and twined around his body. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. The two half-step void interpretation stage powerhouses launched their attacks directly. Even he had to use his full strength to deal with them. Especially in his human form, it was a little troublesome. Earth Dragon Shield. His body shook and pieces of earthy yellow dragon scales appeared faintly on his body. Following that, the dragon scales floated up and surrounded him. Boom, boom, boom. The flames and thorns landed on the Earth Dragon Shield, causing it to tremble violently. The Earth Dragon Shield was Wang Xian's only defensive ability. Crack, crack. This is bad. I can't block it unless I transform into a divine dragon. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. However, if he were to transform into a divine dragon, his identity would be exposed instantly. When he was in Xinghai town, everyone knew that he could transform into a huge demonic beast. The experts from Star Moon Kingdom would also know about it. Once they knew about it, they would definitely kill him. Damn it. Wang Xian's entire body trembled. Numerous scales appeared on his body and he took the remaining attacks head-on. A mouthful of fresh blood couldn't help but be spat out from Wang Xian's mouth. Meow. However, when Wang Xian spat out the fresh blood, the Ice Fire Civet Cat in his embrace revealed an excited expression. It moved its mouth slightly and sucked the fresh blood into its mouth. Meow. Its blue and fiery red eyes stared at Wang Xian's mouth excitedly. It couldn't help but lick its tongue. Wang Xian was slightly speechless when he saw this scene. If he is still running away, kill him. At this moment, the third prince's furious roar came from behind. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. A hint of killing intent could be seen in his eyes. Since you want to die, I shall fulfill your wish. Wang Xian could guess that the identity of the young man was definitely not simple. It might even be related to the royal family of Star Moon Kingdom. However, at this moment he was tempted to kill him. Go to a strange demon and kill him. Wang Xian ordered directly. Yes. A strange demon of Transcendent Level 9 responded immediately. The third prince was only at Transcendent Level 8. It was more than enough for a strange demon to assassinate him. Wang Xian moved his body and quickly dodged a ferocious beast in front of him. He continued to run forward. Boss. Who is it? Who dares to assassinate me? In less than 2 seconds, a furious voice came from behind. The third prince, who was chasing after Wang Xian, was emitting a golden glow. The glow completely enveloped his body. At this moment he was looking around in fear. In the instant just now he felt the threat of death. This caused him to be filled with fear. If he didn't have the protection of the void interpretation level armor on his body, he would have turned into a corpse by now. This caused him to break out in a cold sweat. He shouted out loud in fear. In the instant just now, he didn't even see clearly whether the person who tried to assassinate him was a human or a ferocious beast. Third Prince, what's going on? Third Prince. The expressions of the two half-step void interpretation stage powerhouses who were chasing after Wang Xian changed drastically. They hurriedly looked behind them. Someone is trying to assassinate me. Don't bother about me. Chase after him. The third prince looked at the armor on his body and looked ahead. When he saw Wang Xian's disappearing figure, his eyes turned bloodshot again as he shouted loudly. Oh no, he's going to escape. The two elders turned their heads and looked at him with an embarrassed expression. The third prince's expression changed drastically. He gritted his teeth and took out a small cyan knife from his interspatial ring. The small knife was spinning with cyan light. The moment the small knife appeared, the surrounding space seemed to tremble. Go to hell. I must get the ice fire civet cat. The third prince ferociously attacked Wang Xian with the small green knife. Buzz. The small green knife trembled slightly and began to rotate violently. When the two old men saw this scene, their faces revealed a pained expression. Buzz. 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 The small green knife rotated and attacked Wang Xian at a terrifying speed. The densely packed ferocious beasts that were blocking in front of them instantly revealed a look of fear. However, before they could react, the cyan knife pierced through their bodies and continued to attack forward. Quick, go and bring the ice fire civet cat over. Help him collect his corpse. I want to see what he looks like. Chapter 1138. Chapter 1138, entered the main hall. The third prince stared at the green knife that had disappeared in a flash. A hint of coldness appeared in his eyes. He had obtained this green knife from an ancient tomb of an expert. This green knife had the ability to attack an expert of the see-through realm. Any martial artist below the see-through realm would definitely be killed. At this moment, at the edge of the floating sea city, Wang Xian's body had already left the floating sea city and was falling towards the beach. He was holding the lightning strike wood in his hand. In front of the lightning strike wood, there was a small green knife. A terrifying force was transmitted from the small knife. It almost wanted to tear apart the lightning strike wood. Meow meow meow. The ice fire civet cat in Wang Xian's arms was extremely happy at this moment. It looked at him spitting out fresh blood as it stuck out its small tongue and licked non-stop. What a terrifying small green knife. If I didn't sense it with my light and dark fire dragon eyes and blocked it with the lightning strike wood, this strike would definitely have taken my life. A prince? That young man is actually the third prince of Star Moon Kingdom. Damn it. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with anger. His internal organs were almost torn apart under the terrifying force of the green knife. Large mouthfuls of blood could not help but flow out. Phew. Seeing the green knife gradually disappearing, he heaved a sigh of relief. However, when he saw a group of figures chasing after him, he gritted his teeth and jumped into the sea. The dragon energy on his body quickly healed his body. I actually consumed 130,000 dragon crystals. Wang Xian entered the sea and immediately began to recover from his injuries. He flew in another direction at a terrifying speed. Where is he? Damn it, where is that kid's corpse? Why did it disappear all of a sudden? Could he have entered the sea? Soon, at the edge of the floating sea city, the third prince and the rest arrived. They scanned their surroundings and jumped into the sea as soon as they saw no corpse. Look for it. You must find it for me. You must get the cubs of the ice fire civet cat. The third prince roared with his fiery red eyes. It's the third prince. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts and immediately jumped into the sea. This fellow is really addicted to drinking my blood. Wang Xian waited for the cubs of the ice fire civet cat from another direction. He smiled as he looked at the cubs of the ice fire civet cat who was licking the blood on his face. He sized up the fire and ice civet cat carefully, and a look of surprise appeared in his eyes. Fire and ice civet cat, Transcendent Level 8. This fire and ice civet cat looks like it was just born not long ago. It has the strength of a Transcendent Level 8 when it was just born? This is too abnormal. Wang Xian stared at it with a twinkle in his eyes. The fire and ice civet cat also stared at him with its beautiful eyes. It licked its lips as if it still wanted more. Little fella, stay in the spirit storage bag. Wang Xian grabbed it and placed it directly into the spirit storage bag. Meow. The ice fire civet cat, which had just entered the spirit storage bag, started to scream in panic. It kept screaming in the pitch-black space. Stop screaming. Stay in there for a while. Wang Xian comforted it and looked at the center of the city of beasts. The beasts roared and the group of people who came in from the island fled into the distance in fear. There were tens of thousands of people gathered at the east gate of Bright Moon City. They watched from afar and didn't dare to come forward. Even the army of Bright Moon City was guarding at the east gate, afraid that ferocious beasts would break into the city. Tens of thousands of ferocious beasts with the lowest level 7 were definitely a terrifying force for Bright Moon City. To be able to get 1/10 of the people who entered the 100 Beast City out alive is already considered pretty good. Wang Xian sighed slightly. Everyone thought that it would be an opportunity, but they didn't expect it to be a disaster. Before one has the strength, human lives are like ants. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He raised his head and looked at the sky. 7 insightful Emptiness Realm experts were fighting against the 2 explosive Golden Lions of level 3 of the Insightful Emptiness Realm. In terms of level, the 2 Golden Lions of the Insightful Emptiness Realm could completely defeat the 7 experts. However, due to their prolonged hibernation, their strength was not at 50% of their peak or even less. The 2 Golden Lions were being suppressed by the 7 Insightful Emptiness Realm experts. Even so, there were 2 Insightful Emptiness Realm experts whose bodies were covered in blood. Ao Yao, you will enter the main hall with me. The rest of you will secretly store the corpses here into your interspatial rings. Wang Xian instructed Ao Yao and the rest. It's the Dragon King. The group of strange demons hurriedly replied. Wang Xian did not hesitate and flew directly to the main hall. Feng Yuan had already entered the main hall. He did not know if she had gained anything. His body moved and easily dodged the ferocious beasts one by one. He swept his gaze across the void interpretation stage powerhouses in the sky and rushed straight into the main hall. Right at this time, the Windhowl Dynasty's Type 3 void interpretation expert, who was fighting a golden lion alone, felt something and he looked down. Someone actually entered the main hall after taking advantage of the situation. He's really courting death. I'll let you scout the way. The expert's gaze was cold and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Roar. Not good. At this moment, his expression changed drastically. The golden lion with its mouth opened its mouth and attacked him with all its might. The violent attacks made him palpitate in fear. Did these 2 golden lions sense that someone has entered the hall? He was bewildered and began his final attack with an embarrassed expression. The hall only covers an area of 1 kilometer. It's not a huge area. Wang Xian, who had just entered the main hall, saw sculptures in the shape of ferocious beasts around him. Every sculpture was lifelike. Entering the main hall was like entering an ancient place of worship. There were all kinds of ferocious beast patterns everywhere. Wang Xian frowned slightly. Walking in the middle of 7 to 8 meters and more than 10 meters of ferocious beast sculptures, there was always a feeling that made one's heart palpitate. The entire hall was in a mess. Even if Wang Xian flew to the top, he could not see what was going down ahead. Bang! At this moment, a shattering sound was heard. Wang Xian was slightly stunned. His body moved and he flew directly to that location. Wang Xian. When Wang Xian flew over, Feng Yuan's voice was heard. Feng Yuan, how is it? Did you get anything? When Wang Xian saw Feng Yuan, he flew over immediately with a smile on his face. He looked in front of her and saw that a ferocious beast sculpture had been broken by her. No. Feng Yuan frowned slightly and looked at the dried blood in her hands. The entire hall is filled with these ferocious beast sculptures. It is very chaotic. There is a drop of the blood of these ferocious beasts in the sculptures. Some of them have dried up and are completely useless. I have seen so many ancient tombs, tombs of emperors and land of heritage. This is the first time I have seen such a strange one. Feng Yuan frowned as she looked around and slowly said. When they came in, the 2 fierce beasts said not to disturb their master's sleep. Could it be that there's a hidden compartment here? Chapter 1139. Chapter 1139, beast-taming techniques and special bloodlines. Wang Xian's eyes flickered with a demonic expression as he carefully observed his surroundings. The light and dark fire dragon eyes penetrated the surroundings and directly penetrated through the sculptures. Just as Feng Yuan said, there was a drop of blood of a ferocious beast at the head of each sculpture. Some of the blood had even dried up and formed a lump. There are no hidden compartments in the surroundings, nor are there any other spaces. I have checked all the positions. If there are any abnormalities, these sculptures are the only ones. Feng Yuan said to Wang Xian, but I have already broken more than 20 sculptures and there aren't any abnormalities at all. Then why? Could it be that the two ferocious beasts outside are lying? Wang Xian frowned slightly. The main hall occupied a radius of 1 kilometer and was more than 200 meters tall. The hall was densely packed with sculptures of ferocious beasts. There were more than 1,000 sculptures of ferocious beasts in the entire hall. Among them, the most important one, the tallest and largest one, had been destroyed by the phoenix. However, there was nothing inside. Why did this 100 patrol master, a beast tamer, make so many sculptures? Wang Xian felt a headache coming on. This old man Bai Sun didn't play by the rules at all. If this was the last place where he died, you should at least make a coffin and place it in the middle. You should either place your treasures together with yourself or put them in your interspatial ring. All of these sculptures were a mess of ferocious beasts. What a weirdo. According to my understanding, this old man is very talented. He went from an ordinary powerhouse with half-step void interpretation bloodline to a top-notch powerhouse in the Luhai region. The process is beyond everyone's imagination. Maybe he has a unique mind. Feng Yuan frowned and analyzed from the side. It's just that he has some mental problems. Wang Xian said bluntly. Feng Yuan rolled her eyes at him and looked around. The answer is definitely in this sculpture. Therefore, I plan to destroy all the sculptures. Wang Xian nodded his head slowly. This was the only way to deal with this kind of eccentric fellow. Roar. Suddenly, 2 shrill roars were heard, causing Feng Yuan and Wang Xian to frown slightly. Those 2 explosive golden lions have been killed. They are coming in. Feng Yuan said. Then let's hurry up. Wang Xian nodded his head and waved his hand at the sculpture beside him. Ping. However, what surprised Wang Xian was that his casual attack did not break the sculpture. This sculpture is made from the mud at the bottom of the sticky sea that is 100,000 meters deep. It can only be broken by a powerful strike from a level 9 transcendent. Feng Yuan looked at it and said with a smile. Are you mocking me for being weak? Chu Xian looked at her speechlessly. I am a little weak. Feng Yuan said straightforwardly. Wang Xian was speechless. His current strength was indeed much weaker than a void interpretation expert. Brat who sneaked in just now, come and face your death. At this moment, a cold and murderous voice was heard, causing Wang Xian to frown. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, 6 figures appeared at the entrance of the main hall. The 6 of them did not barge in directly. Instead, they observed their surroundings vigilantly. When they saw the sculptures, they frowned. At this moment, all 6 of them had serious injuries on their bodies. Even the level 3 insightful emptiness realm expert from the Windhowl Kingdom had a terrifying wound on his chest. The 2 golden lions had gone all out in their attacks, causing 1 void interpretation expert to fall on the spot, while the others were all heavily injured. However, they did not hesitate and directly entered the main hall. Now that someone had entered the main hall, they were afraid that all the treasures would be taken away. Feng Wuji, are you sure that someone has already entered? The old man in the python robe from Starmoon Kingdom asked in a deep voice. Of course. Feng Wuji replied coldly. He scanned his surroundings and said, enter the hall and those who are strong will get the treasures. As he spoke, he flew to the highest position and swept his gaze forward. The other 5 people didn't have any objections as they scanned their surroundings. Who is it? Someone has indeed entered. Fish in troubled waters, kill them. The old man dressed in a python robe quickly looked towards Wang Xian and Feng Yuan. His eyes were flashing with a cold expression. The other 5 insightful emptiness realm experts moved and looked over. A terrifying killing intent gushed out from the 6 of them and locked onto Wang Xian and Feng Yuan. Wang Xian's expression changed instantly when he saw them. Hee hee. Feng Yuan, who was at the side, looked at the injuries on their bodies. Instead, she smiled gently and stared at the 6 of them who were flying over with a smile on her face. On her body, a terrifying flame rose slowly. A phoenix started to rotate slowly around her, making her look extremely majestic. Wang Xian retreated backward. Everyone, those who are powerful, will know about the treasure. Feng Yuan looked at them and said indifferently without any hint of fear. Her voice didn't have the slightest fluctuation. What? An insightful void martial artist. He actually took advantage of us to enter the main hall. Damn it. The expressions of the 6 of them changed drastically. They had fought to the death just now, but they didn't expect that someone had already entered the main hall. They had suffered heavy injuries in order to enter the main hall, and one of them even died. I saw that you were all fighting, so I didn't disturb you all. Feng Yuan's gaze swept past them. The terrifying flames and the mystical phoenix made them look mysterious and powerful. The 6 people's expressions changed. Feeling Feng Yuan's aura, they felt some fear in their hearts. The 6 of them looked at each other and then looked at their own injuries, their faces turning somewhat black. If they were to fight at this moment, they might lose their lives here. Just now, a profound void martial artist was injured. Did you guys get any treasures? The level 3 profound void martial artist from the Fengshao kingdom asked with a gloomy face. If we got any treasures, we would have already left. You guys can take a look around and see if we got anything. Feng Yuan shook her head lightly. The 6 insightful emptiness realm experts looked at Feng Yuan and then at Wang Xian. They did not have any pet eggs in their hands. They looked at the broken sculpture on the ground. They could not sense any spiritual artifact fluctuation on it. Bang! A insightful emptiness realm expert scanned the surroundings. With a wave of his arm, he shattered a sculpture. Other than the dried blood of the ferocious beasts, there was nothing else in the broken sculpture. The expert took a look at the blood and began to search the surroundings again. Let's search. The group of people snorted coldly. They scanned the surroundings and began to search for treasures. Before they confirmed that there were treasures, no one would fight to the death. The insightful emptiness realm experts had a lifespan of 1,000 years. They cherished their lives very much. Let's continue. Feng Yuan looked at Wang Xian and said directly. All right. Seeing that the 6 insightful emptiness realm experts did not make a move, he heaved a sigh of relief and nodded. Chapter 1140. Chapter 1140, Beast Taming Technique and Special Bloodline. Wang Xian's gaze swept across the surroundings as he looked at the 6 insightful emptiness realm experts heading to different places. He was slightly fearful. Even though these insightful emptiness realm experts were heavily injured, they were still able to kill him in one move. Go. If they dare to attack, I will avenge you. Feng Yuan looked at Wang Xian and smiled. With a wave of her arm, the phoenix that was circling around her came directly to Wang Xian. The flaming phoenix circled around him. If someone were to attack him, the phoenix would be able to defend itself immediately. Wang Xian nodded his head helplessly. The flaming phoenix circled around his entire body. With a move of his body, he flew directly in a direction. Bang! Wang Xian's arm smashed directly at a sculpture. The sound of collision was heard throughout the entire hall. His attack caused the other 6 insightful emptiness realm experts to look over. What the fuck? However, what surprised the 6 insightful emptiness realm experts was that Wang Xian's attack did not break the sculpture when it landed on it. Wang Xian's face was also filled with astonishment. His face turned slightly black. He had used 60% of his strength just now. Hee trash. How dare a piece of trash come in? 2 mocking voices rang out, making Wang Xian even more embarrassed. His face turned black. Some of the sculptures are solid and hard to destroy. Feng Yuan saw Wang Xian's embarrassed look and sent him a voice transmission. Wang Xian almost wanted to vomit blood. The 6 insightful void tier experts turned their heads in disdain. They saw Feng Yuan breaking the sculptures one by one and tried to break them as well. Furthermore, they were checking each other out. Once a treasure appeared, it might be the time for a fight. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly and his gaze started to change. The mud in the sculptures was too sturdy. He decided to use his ocular technique to observe. There was no other energy in the mud. This allowed him to see through and see the situation inside. Why is there only a drop of fresh blood in every sculpture? What is the use of this fresh blood? Wang Xian looked at the sculptures one by one and frowned as he pondered. There were all kinds of sculptures of ferocious beasts. They were flying in the sky, swimming in the water, running on land, having 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs, and even more than 10 legs. It was like an exhibition hall for sculptures of ferocious beasts. Wang Xian looked at one sculpture after another of ferocious beasts, but there was nothing inside. Suddenly Wang Xian was slightly stunned. He looked at a ferocious beast that was lying on the ground. It was about 10 meters long and looked like an alligator. In the middle of this ferocious beast, there was a ball of liquid. The liquid was about half a meter long and was emitting a sparkling luster. This is the bloodline of a ferocious beast. It should be at level 9 of the supernatural realm. Wang Xian's eyes revealed a burning glow. He moved his arm and attacked the sculpture directly. He didn't destroy all of it. Instead, he created a half-meter-wide hole. I got it. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with joy. The bloodline of an extraordinary level 9 ferocious beast was worth close to 10 billion middle-grade spirit stones. However, when Wang Xian broke open the sculpture and saw the situation inside, he immediately froze. The bloodline of the ferocious beast inside was actually gone. It couldn't be said that it was gone. Instead, it had completely dried up. There was no sign of life at all. Everyone looked over when they saw Wang Xian breaking a sculpture. Wang Xian ignored the gazes of the people around him. He broke the sculpture completely with one punch after another. There was nothing left. Indeed, there was nothing left. The ferocious beast bloodline that was filled with life in his line of sight had actually dried up to the point where there was no sign of life at all. When the people around saw that there was nothing inside, they immediately turned their heads around and attacked the sculpture in front of them again. With a casual wave of their hands, they directly broke more than 10 sculptures. They didn't dare to use too much strength. If there really was a treasure inside, they would cry. Suddenly, a cry of surprise came from the side, attracting everyone once again. Dried blood, and there's quite a lot of it. Isn't this the bloodline of a demonic beast or fierce beast? Will it lose its vitality after a long time? The insightful void martial expert from Star Moon Kingdom said with a dark expression as he looked at the large pool of dried blood beside him. His words immediately caused the expressions of the surrounding people to turn ugly. Old Man Bai Sun specialized in beast taming, and beast tamers were related to bloodlines. It was normal for him to possess the bloodline of fierce beasts and demonic beasts, but if the bloodline of fierce beasts and demonic beasts didn't have any energy for a long time, they would die and become ordinary blood. Damn it, it can't be that there's nothing. The level 3 void interpretation expert from the Kingdom of Wind Howl waved his black-faced arm forcefully, and the dozens of sculptures in front of him shattered. There was nothing inside, but one of them contained a large piece of dried blood. This scene caused Feng Wan's face to turn black. However, when Wang Xian saw this scene, he revealed a contemplative look. How could this be? He clearly saw the bloodline of a ferocious beast that was filled with vitality. How did it turn into dried blood after it was opened? It was impossible for the dragon eyes of light and dark fire to be wrong. Something must have gone wrong. Wang Xian looked at the dried liquid in front of him, then looked at the one beside him. He walked forward while deep in thought. After checking dozens of them consecutively, Wang Xian's gaze landed in front of a sculpture of a flying bird and ferocious beast. His eyes were sparkling. In his line of sight, there was a ball of liquid in the stomach of this 4-meter-sized flying bird sculpture. It was half a meter in size and was exuding an exuberant vitality. Blood of the flying bird in flowery clothing. Level 8 extraordinary. That's right. This can't be wrong. That one just now wasn't wrong either. Looking at the information that the system had sent back, Wang Xian sized up the sculpture of the flying bird in flowery clothing carefully. Its slender neck flew upwards. Its sharp mouth and bright eyes looked as if they were real. The feathers on its body were lifelike. Even the position of its buttocks was only left with a hole. However, the hole was covered by the feathers. Wang Xian looked at the hole and the corner of his mouth twitched. He touched the feathers beside the hole and pulled them away forcefully. Looking at the hole, Wang Xian fell into deep thought. Bai Sun, that old thing shouldn't have such a strong taste, right? Wang Xian clenched his fist slightly. He had the urge to hit someone. Damn, go and take a look. If it's not what I think, I will smash all of you. Wang Xian's face was dark. With a wave of his arm, he plucked all the feathers in front of the hole. He moved his body and went straight into the cave. This? The insightful void martial artist who could sense every trace of Wang Xian in the surroundings, was slightly stunned when he saw that Wang Xian had gone straight into the cave. This trash. He is too weak to break the sculpture. He came here to embarrass himself. I want to slap this trash to death. Idiot. The three insightful Emptiness Realm experts from the Star Moon Kingdom laughed mockingly. Wang Xian's situation had actually eased their frustration. After all, there was a clown performing for them. Haha, you guys are a bunch of idiots. A bunch of trash. Wang Xian, who had entered the sculpture, couldn't help but laugh maniacally in his heart. He didn't expect that the Baisun old man's taste was so strong. Chapter 1141. Chapter 1141, Beast Tamer's Inheritance. Entering the body of the flying bird through the hole at the tail of the sculpture was the only way to obtain the complete bloodline of the ferocious beast. The Baisun elder used a series of special methods to store the bloodline of the ferocious beast and demonic beast in the sculpture. Once the sculpture was broken, the bloodline inside would dissipate immediately. He didn't understand why the Baisun elder did this. However, he could tell that this fellow had a strong taste. Pervert. Wang Xian smiled. He actually liked the perverted taste of the old man. A void interpretation expert would definitely not enter the body of a ferocious beast from this place. Not to mention a void interpretation expert, even Wang Xian wouldn't enter the body of a ferocious beast if it wasn't for the light and dark fire dragon eyes. A powerful expert wouldn't do such a thing. However, it was also because of this reason that it was a very beneficial thing for Wang Xian now. He kept the bloodline of the flying bird into his spirit pouch. Then he moved his body and came out directly. Hee little guy, which faction are you and that guy from? An expert from the Star Moon Kingdom asked when he saw Wang Xian coming out with empty hands and a mocking look in his eyes. I can't tell you that. Wang Xian looked at the middle-aged man and said with a smile. Then he turned his head to look at the sculptures at the side. Humph. When the old man saw that Wang Xian didn't reply, a cold smile appeared on his face. He waved his arm at the sculptures in front of him and directly shattered more than a dozen of them. In the entire main hall, hundreds of sculptures had been destroyed consecutively. There was nothing inside. This caused the rest of the insightful Emptiness Realm experts to look surprised. 3 of them began to check the ground and other locations. When Wang Xian saw the situation, he was slightly delighted. His dragon eyes of light and dark fire scanned through the sculptures quickly. This is the bloodline of a demonic beast of extraordinary level 9. After checking dozens of sculptures consecutively, he was delighted. When he looked over, he heaved a sigh of relief. This was a demonic beast sculpture that resembled an ape. Only a wide-open mouth could enter. It seems that this old man is not so perverted that he is beyond redemption. Wang Xian thought to himself. He flew into the sky and took a look. Then he pretended to enter the mouth of the sculpture and entered it directly. This time no one paid attention to Wang Xian anymore. These 2 actions of Wang Xian had long been regarded as a fool by the few insightful Emptiness Realm experts. Of course, this was also the disdain that the insightful Emptiness Realm experts had for him. This was because they also knew that even a transcendent level 9 expert would have to exert force to break the sculpture. The continuous breaking was obviously not as convenient as Wang Xian's direct penetration into the sculpture. Obviously, they would not have thought that the dried blood would be intact before the sculpture was broken. Got it? Wang Xian directly broke the sculpture when he entered and transmitted it from the position beside his stomach. Why isn't there anything? Wang Xian mumbled on purpose as he continued to search for the other sculpture. Sigh, what a waste. Wang Xian looked at the position beside him. There was a large chunk of dried blood around the 6 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. This blood was the inheritance of a bloodline. Even if it was the bloodline of an extraordinary level 8 ferocious beast, it was still very valuable. Furthermore, there might even be one at the insightful Emptiness Realm. I have to speed up. Wang Xian's gaze swept across the sculptures and started searching rapidly. Although his speed was not as fast as the rest of the experts, it was not too slow either. Most importantly, after the 6 void interpretation experts and Feng Yuan destroyed the sculptures one by one, they went to other places to search. Half of the sculptures in the hall were destroyed and there was nothing left. Therefore, the chances of finding treasures in the sculptures were reduced by a lot. Even Feng Yuan was suspecting if there was another world in this main hall. Haha, I finally encountered the bloodline of an insightful emptiness realm ferocious beast. I'm rich, haha. 5 minutes later, when Wang Xian entered the body of a ferocious beast sculpture from the tail, he looked at the blue blood that was emitting a strong vitality. His eyes were burning with excitement. Could it be that the old man of Baisun is in the body of one of the sculptures? Suddenly, Wang Xian recalled the words of the two void interpretation ferocious beasts that were guarding outside. His face revealed an excited expression. If he was really in the sculpture, there was a high possibility that he could obtain the heritage and treasures of the old man of Baisun. This was a peerless expert at level 6 of the void interpretation realm. He was an existence that could suppress an entire region by himself. After coming out from the body of this ferocious beast sculpture, Wang Xian continued to examine the sculptures one by one. Now he was praying that this sculpture would not be destroyed by Feng Yuan and the other see-through realm experts. After obtaining 2 more ferocious beast bloodlines in a row, Wang Xian stopped in front of a demonic beast. His eyes revealed a burning look. This was a red demonic beast sculpture. Its shape was very strange and it was lying on the ground like a pool of liquid. It had a long and thin mouth. Its mouth was not sharp at all and it looked very ugly. In the entire main hall, the ugliness of this demonic beast could definitely be ranked in the top 10. This demonic beast sculpture was only 4 meters in size and was considered relatively small in the entire main hall. However, in Wang Xian's line of sight, there was a pool of liquid inside. The liquid formed densely packed words that were flashing with a luster. He entered directly from the mouth of the demonic beast sculpture. The moment he entered, he suddenly activated an array formation inside. The liquid words floated up instantly and came before him, forming a sentence. Congratulations, Junior. Congratulations on obtaining my 100 rounds of beast taming inheritance. To be able to enter this place, I believe that your strength is not weak either. The path of beast taming is broad and profound. However, if you want to become a great beast tamer, you must first understand them. You must go deep into them. You must become one with them and become their king. Be it ferocious beasts or demonic beasts, they all have feelings. Only by treating them well will they support you. Lines of words appeared in front of Wang Xian's eyes. When he saw the first few lines, Wang Xian revealed a hint of surprise. He finally understood why the bloodline of the ferocious beasts and demonic beasts would dry up after destroying them. Old Man Baisun was looking for a qualified inheritor. Only by taking care of these ferocious beasts and demonic beast sculptures and entering the interior without destroying the sculptures would one be able to obtain the inheritance. This was also the reason why many ferocious beasts and demonic beast sculptures only had holes and tails. This was because it was a disguise test. As long as one did not hold grudges against the ferocious beasts and demonic beasts, one could only become a powerful beast tamer with such a loving and communicative heart. As expected of the most amazing expert in the Flowing Sea region, his intelligence and talent are really incomparable to others. Wang Xian said with a sigh. The success of every expert was definitely not a coincidence. Chapter 1142. Chapter 1142, Beast Tamer's Inheritance. This is the inheritance of a beast tamer. How to tame ferocious beasts and demonic beasts. This is to make use of the pressure of the bloodline. This method is similar to the way the divine dragon rules low-level creatures. It will be of great help to me too. Wang Xian looked at the words entering his mind one by one. The blood-like words slowly returned to the normal bloodline of demonic beasts. TSK, this inheritance is really powerful. So powerful. It's a pity that old man Baisun didn't place his interspatial ring here. There's only the inheritance here. When all the words entered his mind, a hint of excitement flashed across Wang Xian's face. The liquid that formed the words was not an ordinary liquid. Instead, it was the bloodline of the demonic beast tarsal bone. According to old man Baisun, the tarsal bone demonic beast had already become his life-bound demonic beast. The term life-bound demonic beast was created by him. Through his own method, he had fused with the tarsal bone demonic beast and directly controlled the tarsal bone demonic beast. He also possessed the full strength of the tarsal bone demonic beast. It was also because of this tarsal bone demonic beast that he was able to achieve his current achievements. The tarsal bone demonic beast was a top-notch demonic beast that could reach the 6th level of the see-through realm. Even within the 5 great empires, the bloodline of a demonic beast of this level would be snatched away by countless experts. It was even very likely that the bloodline of a demonic beast of this level would cause a bloodbath. If I were to sell the bloodline of a demonic beast of this level, how terrifying would the resources obtained be? Wang Xian muttered in his heart as his eyes revealed a burning expression. However, a look of contemplation appeared on his face as a figure appeared in his mind. Forget it. I owe her. I'll give this bloodline of the demonic beast to her. Wang Xian mumbled as a smile appeared on his face. With a move of his arm, he stored the bloodline of the tarsal bone demonic beast into his storage spirit bag. After coming out of the demonic beast sculpture, Wang Xian looked around and continued his search. According to the records of the Baisun Master, there were 2 insightful void-level bloodlines and 15 extraordinary-level bloodlines in the sculptures in the main hall. These bloodlines could nurture more than a dozen top-notch families. They could even use these bloodlines to build a dynasty. After searching for nearly 100 sculptures consecutively, the number of sculptures in the main hall became fewer and fewer. The entire main hall was in a mess. There were pieces of sculptures everywhere. Wang Xian frowned slightly. He didn't find another demon beast bloodline of the see-through level. It should have turned into dried blood by now. What a bunch of wastrels. Wang Xian glanced at the group of see-through experts and thought to himself. FUCK, what are these things? Didn't those 2 damn beasts say that this is the burial place of the Baisun Elder? Why is there nothing here? After another 10 minutes, a profound void martial artist shouted impatiently. They had dug 3 feet into the main hall, but they did not find any treasures. This made them extremely angry. You came in before us, did you find any treasures? The Wind Howl Dynasty's 3rd-rank profound void martial artist stared at Feng Yuan with a gloomy face and asked coldly. For a moment, the other 5 profound void martial experts also stared at her coldly. If I obtain the treasure, I will have already left. Moreover, the Baisun old man's treasure is related to the bloodline pet egg. Do you think I can hide them? Feng Yuan stared at them coldly with an expressionless face. This caused the expressions of the 6 profound void martial experts to be somewhat unsightly. The Baisun old man's treasure definitely had the pet egg in various bloodlines. The pet egg could not be stored in the interspatial ring. Even the bloodlines of fierce beasts and demon beasts could not be stored in the interspatial ring unless there was a special container. Moreover, if she had really received the inheritance of Old Man Baisun, she would have left long ago. How could she still be here to accompany them? This made the 6 insightful emptiness realm experts' expressions turn bad. FUCK, I don't believe that there isn't any treasure in the hall. One of the profound void martial experts was somewhat unwilling. He pulled out his long sword and directly slashed forward. The terrifying sword ray directly slashed out a trace that was 1,000 meters long and 3 to 4 meters deep. This trace directly pierced through the entire main hall. The other profound void martial experts didn't say anything. They looked at the trace on the ground. Below there were rocks and nothing else. Could it be that the Baisun old man's treasure is really not here? Feng Yuan also frowned. She was the first to come here, but she did not find anything. She moved her arm and a fire phoenix directly attacked the surroundings. However, nothing unusual was detected. All the items were directly turned into ashes in the flames. Damn it, we wasted so much time and I was seriously injured. The face of the expert at level 3 of the see-through realm from the Howling Wind Dynasty turned black. He had come all the way to the Star Moon Kingdom, yet he didn't obtain anything. If he had known earlier that he would enter the 100 Beast City right from the start, he might have been able to obtain some pet eggs. Phew, let's go. Feng Yuan shook her head helplessly and said to Wang Xian. Okay. Wang Xian was expressionless. He nodded his head and followed Feng Yuan out. The other 6 insightful emptiness realm experts searched for a few more minutes unwillingly. The entire main hall was almost destroyed, but they still couldn't find any treasures. Finally, everyone left in anger. Wang Xian and Feng Yuan left the main hall. As soon as they arrived outside, they saw that there were still many demonic beasts and ferocious beasts wreaking havoc in the 100 Beast City. There were also many demonic beasts and ferocious beasts that ran to other places. There were thousands of demonic beasts attacking in front of the city walls of Bright Moon City. The experts in the city were defending themselves. However, the strange thing was that there weren't many demonic beasts and ferocious beasts or even human corpses on the ground. When Wang Xian saw this situation, a smile appeared on his face. Although there aren't any other big gains, it's still not bad. Let's go. Let's return to Bright Moon City. You can arrange for the dragon spike. Flying in the sky, Feng Wan said to Wang Xian calmly. Did you obtain any treasures in the main hall? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback as he asked in astonishment. No, didn't I give you 5 pet eggs? 3 of them are at Transcendent Level 7, 1 is at Transcendent Level 8, and 1 is at Transcendent Level 9. They are worth billions of mid-grade spirit stones. Feng Wan smiled faintly and asked, how was it? Did you get anything? I'm all right. Suddenly Wang Xian saw a few familiar figures scanning the sky. He changed his expression slightly. I have an enemy. Cover me for a while. Let's leave quickly. Seeing the third prince who was still unwilling to find him, Wang Xian's eyes turned cold as he said hurriedly. Feng Wan looked over and waved her arm to block Wang Xian. She nodded and flew toward Bright Moon City quickly. You didn't obtain any treasures, right? Bright Moon City was a little chaotic at this moment. There were no void interpretation experts in the city. Feng Wan flew straight to the room of the restaurant. She looked at Wang Xian and asked with a smile. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.